This will go live. And we're live.
Hey!
Hi, guys, and welcome to the first Thrills and Chills live show, which will be technically on Dana's channel. We just had some technical difficulties today, so
Yeah,
we're
I don't
we're
know what
here
I'm
on
doing.
mine in the vacant bedroom with the vacant walls now. But yeah, if y'all are here, y'all know who I am. I am Clint from Reed's Readers. And I absolutely fucking loved the book and gave it 6 out of 5 stars. And I feel like I am the only one who really, 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 really loved it out of the three of us. But I will let my lovely co hosts introduce themselves. So, Mel,
I am completely Melanie, and I gave this 3 stars. um, I haven't read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and um, so I didn't have. I had a preconceived notion in my head of what I was expecting from this because everybody raved about that series. I was expecting high things from this series, and I was disappointed.
Well, I'm Dana. Thanks to everybody who's here because this is exciting. Um, I liked it. I didn't love it. Like it was a 4 star for me. And I can see though, Mel, like why this would be so hyped up is because of the way that all of us really me hyped up A Good Girl's Guide to Murder
and me.
because I would like do anything to be able to experience that series again.
Oh my god.
But I think the upside though of you giving this a 3 stars is that if you ever do read A Good Girl's Guide, that's gonna blow you out of the water because that's the thing. This was not as for me, it I still think it was good, but it was not as good as A Good Girl's Guide. Like
I don't know
For
what these girls have been smoking
for
because this book
me,
was amazing.
for me, most of this book was a 2 or 2.5 star. It really was.
yeah.
It
Did you
was.
physically read it or listen to the audio?
I listened to the audiobook,
Okay. So
and for one, was not a fan of the narrator of the audiobook either.
Mm.
Um, but also,
okay, that could be why.
well, that's not the only reason why. That was
She's like, I've got receipts and I've got reasons.
the first half of this book. Pretty much nothing actually happens. I was talking with Dana
Yeah.
during the listening to it, and I was like, okay, I said I'm at 40 something percent, and nothing's happened. And then I was like, okay, well, I just finished chapter 23, and that was when the first big thing happened, and it was at the 50% point, and I was like, it took way too long for something big to happen.
Big things
And
happened at the beginning
I
with
think,
the
but I
tire blowout and then all four tires going out. That was early on. And the way they described it, I instantly went, you didn't run over something. They got fucking shot.
well, I think though, if I'm just my opinion, is that I think that maybe it's because we already knew they were going to get stuck that didn't feel like that was so
True.
big because the synopsis of it was that like they were in an RV and they were stuck, like somebody did this to them that you I feel like I assumed their vehicle
Understandable.
was going to get tampered with in some way. And I was liking it. And I didn't realize until me and Mel were like messaging that I was 40% of the way in. And I realized
nothing
I was
had
like, wow,
happened.
a lot hasn't actually happened. Cause like,
And
they're in there and it was, it wasn't bad, but okay, I will say one thing that I think she did, and I really enjoyed that she did, is that the synopsis said that they were going to be trapped, and they really were, like for the whole book. Because like there's books and there's movies that tell you like, oh, they're trapped, and then they're only trapped for like 15 minutes of the movie, or like 3 chapters of the book, and then the rest of the book is like life after that. Like this really was like we're trapped for 8 hours,
I I
and
felt the anxiety the entire time though. My
yeah,
anxiety went up while I was listening to this at work while I was it could be because I was mindlessly doing work at work, like what I was doing was typing in numbers and doing math, and this just like kept my anxiety going and
Yeah.
going and going, and I'm like, oh my god, who's the bad guy? What's the reason? Who's the secrets? Oh my god, what the fuck's going on? I need to know who's going on. Is it who I think it is? And can this character fucking die already? Because I'm tired of him fucking talking.
Oh.
So it's like my brain was like the entire time.
I think I went into it with such high, like so much, just like
I went into it with low
expectation.
expectations.
See,
because
and I
was
went in
like,
with it with like really high expectation because of when I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, that thing had me by a chokehold. Like I was in it. I read it. I read all 3 books back to back to back. Like it was, I didn't pick up another thing. I read all 3 straight through because I was obsessed. And this never had me obsessed like that.
See, I went into it low expectations because of Karen M. McManus. Because the first thing I read by her was One of Us is Lying, and I freaking love that.
Yeah.
And the next one I went into, Two Can Keep a Secret, didn't live up to the standards.
See, I read Two Can Keep a Secret first and loved it. So that by the time I got to One of Us is Lying, I was like, oh, queen.
So I was preparing myself because we were doing this for a book club. I'm like, oh my God. A lot of times when I read something for a book club and we do a live show talking about it, the last couple ones we've done, I don't really particularly care for the book. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to hate this book. So I'm going to go in with low expectations and see what happens. I'm going to have to put it as a different book than A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Yeah.
But we do have some comments.
Yes.
So we've got Amanda saying hi.
Hi, Amanda.
Same with Nikki. Amanda loved it too. And she says, only 3 stars, Mel? That's so sad. And Nikki's like, I loved this book.
Yeah, I know.
I have to say, I felt like it was kind of weak.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like
But
there were a lot of there was a lot of easy routes taken with the writing, in my opinion, and that it was like.
But were you trying to compare it? Because I know I'm just.
I wasn't trying to compare it to anything because I hadn't read anything by Holly Jackson. I was excited to read it. I had high hopes for it because of what I'd heard about The Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Well, I just know you don't read a lot of YA thrillers. You read more adult thrillers than you do YA thrillers.
I don't know. I mean, I think I read a pretty good mix of them.
I mean, Death Prefers Blondes was a freaking amazing YA thriller, but
I've read other ones too that I'm like, okay, they're like, I forget which book. What was the book that we read? With the coffee people.
Oh,
Agatha's, which was not great, but in my opinion, it was significantly better than this. But it was a lot more cheesy than this was, in my opinion. But I feel like there was a lot more to it and a lot more trying to figure things out. In my opinion, that book was a lot better than this book.
So I don't know.
I felt like this was just weak, and
the Agatha's was really good, and so much was happening in it. And I think one of the things that I don't know how to explain it because like I feel like the being trapped in the RV didn't work the greatest. Like, but also it was the whole reason of it. But like I think that was one of the things too. Just like in any other thriller, there's they're leaving, they're going, they're coming across other people. Whereas like you really only had those 6 characters in that one setting, and it was kind of like she got to really turn it out with that. And
you got to love the characters, or you're not going to enjoy it.
This for a little part of it, I called it when that first secret came out. I knew I pretty much knew what kind of secret it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was totally giving me I Know What You Did Last Summer vibes.
Oh, don't take
me back my there. God, it does. I didn't even think of that.
Don't take me back there.
But don't take us back there because that book was horrible.
I will rage. Hi, Bethany. Hi, Bethany. There's some other ones.
We have
But yeah.
ornaments.
That's
Oh
the
my God,
total
that's my friend
vibe
Ruth.
that I got from
Hi,
this.
Ruthie.
Was I know what you did last summer, and I was like, yeah.
Same way. Nikki says, I will say it did take a little bit to fully get into, only because, yes, not a ton happens right away, but it was the second half that really amped everything up and just made it up for the beginning. I feel like the beginning was more of a setup to what the story was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I also try not to judge an author by its previous works, is what I try. So I was going into it going, okay, is she going to become an auto-buy author for me?
Yeah, she's an auto buy for me now, but
Same. Now that I've also read Killjoy and gave it a
see,
4
I've got to
star.
finish that one. I'm halfway through.
Nikki said she read The Cousins by Karen and liked it, but didn't love it. There was one character in that I hate.
Yeah, honestly, The Cousins was good, but I'm not obsessed with The Cousins, but almost everything else that she's written, Nikki, I'm obsessed
I like
Hey.
the Cousins a lot more than this.
And you didn't like The Cousins.
No, I did.
Oh, I thought you didn't.
No,
I
I
didn't
I
like.
very much like the Cousins. I can't
Oh,
remember if
it's
I gave it 4
one of
stars or
us.
5.
Is it One of Us is Lying that you hate?
I'm not sure which one it was that I read that I don't know. I'm
The
going to
only-
give them all another chance because I read the Cousins and loved it.
Well,
only
whenever you read
issue I have
Nothing
with
More to
Cousins-
Tell, Nothing
Oh
More
my
to
God.
Tell is, oh, like she killed that one. Like that one's like
That is her
goated.
best written
It's top
one.
tier.
That is
Yeah,
everything.
which is nice though, because that's her newest release. So it's like you can see the hope of being like, wow, like I liked you in the beginning, and you're getting better.
Okay, Amanda says I had no expectations going into it whatsoever, which is probably why she loved it. I had low expectations only because I am obsessed with the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, so wasn't sure how this was going to be as a follow-up story by her, but was pleasantly surprised. That's kind of how I feel because I did that with Sarah J. Maas. It's like I absolutely love the ACOTAR series, and then going into Throne of Glass, I went in with lower expectations because I was like, I've heard it's not as good, I've heard it drags on, and I ended up loving it. So it's like,
See, I think I was like the opposite because I was obsessed with the Good Girls Guide. I just really was hoping, like I'll be honest, I didn't think that I was gonna like this as much as a Good Girls Guide. Like I didn't think that this was gonna come for that spot, in my mind. But I think I just thought like this is gonna be, but I liked it. I like, it's not that I didn't like it, but it just was not I don't know, it wasn't everything that I was hoping for.
unpopular opinion from me on this one. If this was not written by Holly Jackson, I probably would not have picked it up. Because the synopsis really didn't intrigue me.
See, and the synopsis really had me because I was like, dang, like y'all are stuck.
So, but in my head, I was like, oh, it's a YA. They're stuck. It's going to be kind of like all stuck in one room. Nothing's going to happen. And then you're going to find out the killer's in the room. Whatever.
I was
Yeah.
expecting a lot more secrets, a lot better secrets.
I was
mean,
expecting
I
more
was kind of
Diana Urban.
thinking that the big secret was going to be her friend, what's her name, Maddie. I was thinking she was going to have like been responsible for Red's mother in that way, or
well, okay, let's go through the characters. Let's go. What did you guys think of Red? What were your opinions on Red?
I didn't like any of the characters.
Dang.
Which could be why you didn't like the book.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay.
On Red,
I felt she was. I wanted to use this as a strong female lead, and she was very much not.
Okay.
She was weak and simpering, and
she was no Pippa Fitz-a-Moby.
She's not Pippa. Like I keep wanting to compare her to Pippa because Pippa's the main character of Good Girls Guide.
Not in the same.
It's like she's no Pippa.
No.
And to me, she kind of was like one of these. I was expecting her to have some type of disability, like them to discuss a disability further on. Like I was expecting like autism of some type of like on the spectrum of autism.
Yeah, it seemed like there was something that when they talked about like her forgetting all the stuff.
Yeah.
But and then they could have gone more into that. There was just I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I also like wasn't completely like over the moon for it, was that I expected her to be like a Pippa, just a little stronger. Maybe not in the same ways of like a super sleuth like Pippa is, but like I think expected a little more strength from her. And then I thought it was a little weird like how all the forgetting was getting brought up, but there was no like reason
Why?
for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I can't remember this. And it was like, well, sis, has this always been a problem? Like, it's like,
I feel like, to me, when they started doing that, I felt like it was her way of trying to explain with the fact of her mother dying.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was on the phone with her mother
Mhm.
right before her mother died.
Yeah.
And she told her mother, I hate you.
Yeah.
And her mom died 10 minutes later.
Yeah. Definitely trauma. Not dismissing the trauma, but it was just like, I don't know, it was just weird a little bit the way that she was like bringing it up, because then it's like, she would recall all these other old memories, and
Okay.
it was just, I don't know, something about it was like, I think it just, if she maybe would have like tied that in a little more, it could have kind of made Red a little more of a well-rounded, fleshed out character, because she was our main character, but I think that there were like pieces of her missing that never really, for me, felt like got filled in. And what was up with the curtains?
Yeah, they never even said what the curtain. Yeah. That yeah, exactly. There was so much almost like it was over edited.
Yeah.
Like maybe, it could have been, like it could have been, it could have probably been the same size that it was, but like that first half didn't need to go into as much as it did with what was going, all the little details, but they could have fleshed out the characters more. They could have, there could have been more. And it almost seems like it was over edited.
Yeah.
Like they took out things that.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool.
Story.
It would have been cool, I think, if maybe they would have hopped into each character's POV. Because like at the end of the day, they all had some type of secret. Like some people's, Simon's wasn't really that much. Your uncle's a crook, whatever. Everybody else had like
I thought that was my entire time reading this. Simon's little secret, I thought was a lie to cover up a bigger secret.
And maybe
I thought he was just like, this is the underlining.
Maybe she'll try and turn it into a series and have something else. But like, I think it would have been so cool if we would have got the POV from everybody else. Because at that point, everybody's suspicious of everybody, right? Because like everybody has a secret, but everybody's like, there's no way that it's my secret. You know what I'm saying? And like, if they could have really like she could have amped up the suspicion. If I'm seeing from everybody's point of view, like, oh, like what's going on here? What did you guys think of Maddie? We'll go through all the characters.
I thought she was an annoying little brat.
Yeah.
Who lets her brother walk all over her.
I think it's just more like, to me, it came across like she's had a life of her mother being so type A and her brother following in those footsteps. And I think she just learned to submit and roll with it because she'll never win.
Mm-hmm.
But like the way that she was always on everybody about like, don't talk about the mom, don't do that. That was a little weird to me.
That
like,
let me know
like
that she
trying
had
to
protect,
but it was kind of like, you're doing a lot. You're doing
to me that was a little too much foreshadowing right there, because it made me wonder, what does she know about her mom?
Yeah. And I thought it was suspicious too that like if like you protect Red that much and you like you're loaded, your parents are loaded, and your mom is Red's mom's best friend, y'all could have just bought her a plane ticket. Like your mom didn't even want you to take this RV. Like everybody else had the money. Why didn't y'all just buy her a plane ticket?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then
okay, now to our favorite, Oliver.
Fucking hell, I was so happy when he
douchiest douche that ever douched. Like
yeah, Oliver is terrible.
He is one of the most hated characters.
I mean, obviously he's supposed to be hated.
Yeah.
but uh, the fact that the way that they talked about him, like, he was this sweet brotherly figure, and now all of a sudden he's this. That didn't make any sense either, because I think, obviously he was a douche already.
Yeah, a douche canoe.
See, my thing was the sweet brother where? When it first came to serve, oh, let's dress up my sister and throw her outside so she can get shot? Are you a fucking moron? And you say you love your sister?
Mhm.
Oh, I hate him.
Yeah, he was the worst. Hold on,
sorry, not to cut you off.
Also, I feel like that whole thing with Jack, that I think that was not. We didn't get the full thing with that either. It felt like there were like that just didn't seem fleshed out enough for me. Like, we could have gotten a lot more of that story, and especially with like the multiple POVs, like we could have seen what was going on with, actually with Jack and the girl, and then in Oliver's POV, him coming into this situation and seeing, and this fight and all of that.
I think that whole thing was like, I thought that was like a cool, like an awesome little secret to have, but I think there could have been more. Like you said, I think it could have been like fleshed out more. And also, like, I feel like there needed to be more heat put on Raina, because, like, honestly, Raina, Oliver is a butthole, and he's the one that did kill Jack, but, like, honestly though, like, you're the one that made it seem like you were being assaulted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're being harassed. And so, of course, like, Oliver comes up and hits him, and it's like.
But see, the way that scene was, I don't think it was fully that he was harassing her, because when he said something about, oh, this guy was harassing her, she kind of shook her head a little.
Yeah,
no, I know, but that's what she told him. Oliver found out with everybody else that this guy was not harassing her, that she knew him.
My thing was I took it as Oliver walked up and just saw a guy next to his girl and immediately assumed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
She had a look on her face because she was like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? My lover and my boyfriend, like, what do I do? Yeah. And he just took it as, get the fuck away from my girl, because he's that type of a douchebag.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That's how I took it. It's all technically, yes, Raina shouldn't have been cheating. Raina should have chose Jack in the end, because Jack would have been better for her. But she went with money and power, because I don't know why.
I really I think it's just like it was an RV full of somewhat unlikable people.
How are these people friends is what I want to know. How is everyone in here a friend?
Like,
and you bring a stranger with you too?
Huh?
You bring also someone who's kind of a stranger?
Yeah, because Arthur was Simon's friend, but it was like, Maddie, you don't even like Simon.
And Arthur doesn't even go to your school.
Exactly. Okay, so what did you guys think of Raina? Like, we know Oliver's a butthole, but what did we think of Raina?
She kind of got what was coming to her. Personally.
Like, just with, like, now she has to live with the guilt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she should have just been upfront and honest. But at the same time, Oliver's such a douche canoe that I feel like she didn't know how to get out of that relationship without him doing something to her.
I just think, though, if we go back in time, right, to when Oliver and Raina were at that bar, if I'm cheating, right, and like me and my man go to my side piece's bar, I'm immediately faking sick.
Hello?
Like, get out of there. Like, why did you think? And then not even that, like, you say you love Jack. Like, why would you want to make Jack have to see you with you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I was just like, Raina, like,
I want to know how stupid she was in that moment. Did she realize that it was his bar when they pulled up, or did she realize when they walked in?
I don't know whether she walked in or not. Like, I'm immediately being like, oh my God, I'm gonna vomit. Like, we gotta go. We've got to go,
Mhm.
you know, because
Be like, this place looks gross.
yeah,
Like,
like
I can't be here.
yeah, like
I
it's like
can't.
this is not gonna end well, you
Mhm.
know.
Be like, oh my
Um,
God, my sister's having a heart attack. I gotta go.
something is wrong and I've got to leave. Like, we've got to go. What did you guys think of Simon?
I thought he was the killer.
Mm.
I thought the lie was covering up the fact that his uncle is part of the other gang, part of the
Oh,
Italian people.
I didn't even think of that.
I thought Artie was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay. Okay.
Granted, I was kind of thinking off of Good
Yeah.
Girl's Guide to Murder because I was thinking, oh, well, this character's kind of reminding me of this character a little bit with her writing style. So this is the obvious, like, Oliver's too obvious. And then Artie's too obvious because he's the love interest.
See, I felt like Arthur was too obvious because he was the new one that nobody
That
knew.
too. And he's the love interest.
Yeah.
So in my head, it just went, it's never the boyfriend.
True.
Even though sometimes it's the boyfriend.
Did we go through all the comments? I don't know if we did.
Yeah.
We did?
Except
Okay.
for these bottom three of the would have been cool to see multiple POVs. The reason why Red didn't want to fly was because she was afraid.
I thought it was because she didn't have money.
Yeah, I don't
I-
remember anything about her being afraid.
Yeah.
I think that's what she told them.
Well,
I
she
think,
definitely
I
had no
think
money.
that's what Maddie told them.
Oh, okay.
for
I don't
her.
remember it ever coming up that she was afraid to fly.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it could have. I just don't. I don't
And then
remember.
Amanda hated Oliver too.
Okay,
I mean,
in
who
the
doesn't
comments,
hate-
tell us how you felt about each of these characters that we're going through. Okay, what about Arthur?
He's so adorable,
well-
and I want to hug him.
I know. It's like I love him and hate him.
Well, I have to say, Simon, to me, he was kind of forgettable. It was just like an
Forgettable?
occasional drunk comment.
Yeah. Oh, he was
Um,
definitely forgettable. Yeah.
He was a very forgettable character.
I felt like those drunk comments were the reason why it was like throwing off the fact that he's in on it. Is what I was thinking the entire time,
Yeah.
That's what she said.
and I was wrong.
No,
Yeah,
there were so many. That's what she said, and
Yeah.
some of them were so beyond stupid.
Can we stop referencing The Office, Simon?
And it's like I love The Office, but it was enough. Like also, I agree. At one point in the story, I think Red said like I would have thought the adrenaline would have sobered him up a little more. And I think in a real life scenario, he would have been like instantly like, oh, like
Yeah.
we were all like, we got to get, mind focused. And I mean, I know it was only over 8 hours, and you could kind of see him coming out of his drunkenness a little more, but I don't know. I think he was more of just like a irritating drunk. He should have either been like, I just think he either should have been sober or so wasted that he was potentially messing everything up. Whereas he was just more so making like little drunk comments where it was like, I'm like, if we're doing it, like, let's do it. Make him like so wasted that he's like slurring into the walkie-talkie. He's like, no, I'm running. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, make him
He's messing up the plans or
yeah,
whatever.
otherwise it's like he drank a few like wine coolers and he's just buzzed. And I was like, no.
And they said that he drank a lot of tequila, and I'm like, this is not how someone on tequila acts in a situation like this.
Come on. Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think he really like got off that buzz until the old couple got shot.
Yeah.
What was the point of them showing up? That was my only negative critique in this whole thing is what was the point?
See, for me, I think it was perfect because I think that was the moment where for Arthur, he realized, oh, this is much more high stakes than I realized because his brother was never supposed to kill anybody. And I think that's when he realized like, oh, shoot, this is more, yeah, like my brother's clearly willing to go so far. And I think that's why when Red went outside, he was losing his mind, like, trying to throw Oliver out the way, going out there and snatching her up. Obviously, he's going out there and he's not scared because he knows who's in the woods, But like, I think the older couple being shot was actually really perfect. I know that's so morbid, but I think it was so good because Otherwise,
was
it never
so
would have gotten
sweet.
it never would have gotten so real for Arthur.
Mhm. That was one of the better parts of the book for me.
See,
Yeah.
y'all thought that was the better parts, and I'm sitting over here going, "What's the point in bringing this
I
sweet old
mean,
lady
it was
in the middle of this
awful,
just
and
to
I
get
felt
killed?" And I'm
terrible.
like,
Oh, yeah,
"This is
no,
wrong. What's the
it was-
point?"
It was awful, but without that, there never would have been a moment where for Arthur this became more
Real.
intense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there never would have been a time where he's kind of like freaking out and trying to, in my mind, like trying to really like reason with Oliver.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like because in that moment he realized he thought he had control over the whole thing. That's why it's like I think like when Red was like watching things happen when they were going to the windows and she was just like, wow, Arthur's over there by the one that's already been shot out, but he seems fine. Well, he seems fine because he knows his brother's not going to kill him.
I took that as a sign of, oh, he's a man. Like he
No.
wants to be protected, so I'm going to be by the window that got shot out because no bullet's going to come through the same window twice.
See, and it's like I think it was like she was picking up on those little things, but never really like she didn't know how to piece it together. But that's why I think like as sad as it is that the older couple died like that, like I think that's why it was so necessary was because he was in there faking some of those fear emotions, but he was never truly worried. That's why he's standing in front of things. He's not worried. And he also knows that none of them are really supposed to die.
So I had a question.
Yeah.
Do y'all have the Barnes and Noble exclusive edition?
No.
No, I got mine from Barnes and Noble. They only had a regular edition.
So I'm not sure exactly what the difference is.
We
between
have the
mine-
letter.
Huh?
We do have the letter at the end.
Okay.
If that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
From
So-
Arthur.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's different about this exclusive edition. Is there in pages like this?
No,
No.
no.
Is there anything underneath?
Usually there's like
What's on
extra
it?
things in the back.
It's got all their names. And different names are like marked out.
Crossed out.
And then it's got on the front.
You have the
no,
black.
ours is red.
Ours is red. Yours is black.
and
We
it's
have
got
the same.
the 5 slashes.
We got
We
that.
have that too.
Yeah.
And then
No foil. Like no.
Yeah,
No
we just have the
metallic.
regular matte.
Was there anything special in the back? Like
no.
no?
That's what I was wondering if the letter was something special. So okay, I had an issue with the letter too because
Okay.
it's like okay, Arthur, he was doing all this. He didn't want anybody to get killed. He's not following in the family footsteps because he doesn't want to, he's going to be the math guy
Mhm.
and he's not going to be doing anything.
He thinks
but-
it's like morally wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he's okay with assassinating with not having any prior experience. He becomes a sharpshooter and
Yeah.
from across a building.
Well, he did that for the woman he loved. Sometimes you learn things from the people you love, and you.
Well,
put
he
up
said
with
in
and
there
you
he
do
was like it
things.
was a lot easier because of the red dot, but I do think it was quite a leap, like quite a leap to go from I will do the numbers for the legitimate businesses, and
To
I'm
I'll
not going
kill
to be
somebody.
involved.
But that doesn't mean he wasn't trained in everything else growing up.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not. I don't have an issue with that. He was
Yeah.
able to like shoot her because he had the little laser, whatever. I think for me, I think like the
Poorly.
leap was that inside he said, "I'm going from I don't want to kill anything to I will literally like in cold blood snipe her."
Would you not fuck up someone who hurt the person you love?
I think for
If you come
me-
from a family like that and you were trained to be able to know how to kill and do that, would it not twist your thoughts a little bit on the fact of this bitch has to die?
That's fine. I think for me though, it's like it wasn't it I feel like I needed them to be more in love Because like it's kind of like you just had a few like from what Red says is like they hung out in groups a few times.
We need
They
Arthur's
hung out a
POV.
couple times alone, and she had one of his hoodies. But like y'all clearly have never had anything else to where it's like, you know, he even said anytime I try to get close to you, you pull back. And so it's kind of like y'all barely even really know each other and you love each other enough. You know what I'm saying? And
that you're gonna let go of
situations.
all your moral
and
beliefs.
aside from all of that, you're writing a letter that says like, I'll be there on this day. And if you don't show up, I understand the police can be there and take me. Like I was like, Arthur, no. And I like Arthur. I actually like him, but it's just like I think there were just pieces where like if we could have got a little more,
Yeah, if we could
like
have
you know,
gotten
or
his
like
POV.
they maybe had more moments together that Red kind of like gave us a flashback of, you know, of more moments where it's like, oh yeah, like we had more of a connection because it's like he's so in love with her he'll commit murder, but Red wasn't even convinced that like he even liked her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so it's like I think that was part of it, but then I also think like, you know, I think he's trying to prove himself because he knows that like she'll never trust him again because you were out here playing me, I was a mark, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know,
Okay, we have a couple of comments real fast.
Okay,
I thought they were all crazy to rent an RV in the first place. I don't think they were crazy to rent the RV.
yeah, I think that would be fun.
I think it was crazy that they went down some dark road in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
I would have gone back to the big road and I would have got to where cell signal was
yeah.
before going down any dark roads. I'm sorry, have y'all not watched any fucking horror movies?
No, honestly, yeah.
Why not take a train or have a parent drive? They're too young to go driving all that way by themselves.
That's why Oliver and Raina were there.
Yeah, because they were in their 20s.
Yeah, they're like in college.
But were they though? Because they really didn't have the mentality of 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
I always thought Arthur seemed off to me from the beginning. It was something about him that bothered me. I thought that about Simon. I felt like Simon was too overdoing it with the being drunk. In the background of the whole like, oh, I'm gonna just sarcastically do like the whole that's what she said. I won't throw those in anywhere I freaking can so that they know
I just
I'm
would
drunk.
have enjoyed it more if he was like super wasted and like getting in the way of them trying to get themselves out. Because otherwise it was like he was just like a little buzzed, like hanging out. And I would have just preferred him like to where it's like they're trying to figure out the killer outside, you know, the sniper, but then also having to like deal with Simon in such a closed space.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, because in my mind, I think it's crazy that Oliver was the only one that went to mental extremes. Because if you think about like the pressurized situation that they're in, one, you're trapped in a space. Two, you are about to die. Three, your resources really are limited because she even said like, how much water do we have really in here? How long can the generator last? And I think like adding in those elements would have created, I think, more anxiety for me as the reader to be like, oh my God, their generator is going to go out, you know, because heat makes people crazier. Like, you know, they always joke around him from Florida and they always joke around like the Florida man, you know, and it's always like these elements like make people even crazier. And I think if you put all of those things in there, it's like a pressure cooker. Like I think she could have added in a few more like just exaggerated certain things that could have made that such a more anxious filled environment.
I also want to point out one little, as the more we talk about it, the one inconsistency that I've noticed the more we talk about it is Oliver. How did you go from knowing this girl since she was a kid to automatically blaming her? That's what I wasn't understanding, is this is your sister's best friend. Y'all hung out, you treated her like she was your little sister.
But he didn't though. Because she would
But
say
that was
like,
that's what her sister saw. But how did you go from that to an automatic, she's to blame for all of this?
But I think that shows like the snap in his brain because like he put Maddie,
He's
his
the
own
serial
sister,
killer.
he put
He's the
Maddie
serial
out the
killer.
door. Like, Maddie, you go and try and save us. And he was always self-preservation for him. Off topic of the book. Are you doing merch for Thrills and Chills? Because I need your shirt, Dana. I don't know. Just because it's vinyl, I'm not sure. Because vinyl doesn't always like hold up the best when it gets like washed. Like over time it peels. So I don't know. But I'm gonna look into some things. I'm gonna look into some things because I think it would be cool. But
Not to get you sidetracked. I saw
Yeah.
that comment and was like, I wanted to throw that in there.
my bad, yeah. So it's like I don't know. I think Oliver just like because Red said where it's like Maddie called him, I think like Ollie or something, and she's like, I made that mistake one time. She was like, because even though like he was, I felt like I was like a little sister, I clearly wasn't. And like, and she always said the distinctions of like the boys or whatever their last name was, and then the rest of us. It was like the LeBoys and Raina, and then Oliver, Simon, and Red. And so it's like, I think for him,
But I
like,
didn't understand why there was a separation if she was raised along with them, especially after her mother died.
yeah, but see, the thing was like for Maddie, Oliver came across to me very obsessed with status and power. And Red offered none of those things. Like she had no status, she had no prominence, she wasn't going to go to college, like she didn't have any of those things.
Yeah, he
And
did.
so it's like I think for him, like
twist on her.
anybody who can't get him leveled up, I think is expendable to him. You know, whereas Raina, like she's a pretty girl, she's smart, she's gonna be a doctor or whatever, you know, it's like that fits in with his, and I'm a lawyer and I'm gonna do this, and like she's gonna have what society will look at as like a prominent type of profession, you know.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, I mean, he's self-serving, he's a narcissist, like everything had to be about him. He had to take charge. You have to listen to me. And that's, you know, I don't know. I think that
Who died and made him the leader of the thing? Where was that vote?
I think all
There
of
was
them
no
just-
vote taken.
Yeah.
Just because you're an adult does not mean you're taking full reign of the situation, because you're going batshit crazy off the hook. You need to sit your happy ass down and calm your shit before you get us killed.
But I think Red like kind of like noted, like when she would say like, well, everybody else seems to be deflecting to him too, so whatever, like I'll do what he says. And it was like there was no like challenge of power there.
Should have been.
You know?
I felt like when they were doing the vote thing, I was like, can we vote on throwing Oliver out?
Come on now. Yes. Also,
I was like,
who was
I
the
kept
other
waiting.
vote?
Oh yeah, they didn't even say who the other person was.
Yeah, like
that
I
voted.
feel like there were like little
I
things.
think it was either Maddie or Simon.
I think it was Simon.
I feel like it could have been Maddie though, because Maddie would have sided with her brother.
Maybe. I don't know, because Maddie was vocal in saying no, no, no. Like,
But at the
you
same
can't.
point, she doesn't want to piss off her brother, and if nobody else votes for her to go,
True. Yeah.
he would automatically know she didn't vote for her.
Well, in my mind, she already
And
pissed
they
him
still
off when
threw her
she
out.
verbally said, when she verbally was like, Oliver, we're not doing that. And I feel like Raina was like, no, and Arthur was no. But then maybe Arthur, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. Arthur, I really believe was a no, because at that point the older couple had been murdered already, and I think he realized like, oh crap, all bets are off. Like my brother really could be an absolute psychopath out there. You know, I felt like it was Simon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was either Raina or Simon, but the fact that it never said,
Yeah,
Like, she never went back and be
a lot
like,
of things like that throughout this book. That's what it did it for me. Was there was so much that felt like was missing. There was not things weren't fully fleshed out. That's why it was not. It felt weak to me.
Yeah, I feel like I needed more about like her memory. I needed like, even if it was just like a chapter after the letter, You know what I'm saying? Where you just got a little more of Red, maybe more level headed. But like, I needed more about her memory. I needed to know what was in the curtains and why was that like just so incredible to her. And I needed to know who made that vote and where is everybody else now? Because like Arthur was like, well, they saw me, so I guess they didn't say anything. Oh,
I
also,
feel like
Maddie,
she
like
left it
Maddie, your mom is
open-ended.
dead. I know that you knew your mom killed Red's mom, but your mom was dead. Your brother's dead.
yeah.
Like,
And you're okay with it?
that's what I'm saying. No. Here's the thing. Even if my brother is a douche canoe and my mom's a murderer, I'm kind of police on you, Arthur.
My thing is maybe she left it open-ended to possibly revisit this world.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I don't know if you guys heard me, but I was like, yeah, maybe when Simon got brought up, I was like, yeah, maybe she's trying to like make this a series of something, maybe to trail off into the rest of their things. Like, you know, because
If the
the
second
idea
one
that
doesn't give
Jack's
us things,
family,
though,
huh?
if the second one doesn't give us answers, though, I say end.
Yeah, like Jack's family, I could totally see Jack's family being like, yeah, we're out for blood. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, then that would leave Raina, you know? But I don't know. I just think as a main character, Red wasn't giving what she needed to give. And that again might just be because I'm very much Pippa Fitzmoby, you know?
Pippa is like one of the best
Yeah.
main characters.
And then also, like, not to bring the queen into this, but Karen M. McManus, all of her like female main characters are
Bronwyn.
so strong. You know, like they are like their minds are going, like everything's on.
Even if they're also supposed to be like a ditzy little like preppy cheerleader.
Yeah. And so it's like I just like I don't know. I thought there was gonna be more to Red. And then I just feel like Maddie was pointless. Simon was pointless. You know, the only people I think that really added to what was going on was Red, Raina, Oliver, and Arthur. And the only reason Raina did was just because she had that secret.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like
I just looked on Goodreads to see if, you know, it had like a number or something to see if it doesn't.
What?
Okay.
I've survived. I
Oh,
don't
in a
think there's going to
series?
be.
Okay. I have an honest question for Mel here. Because this is the only thing you've read of hers.
Mhm.
Would you be willing to at least give a good guy's girl to murder a try? I don't want you to be like, oh, this is what you're going to expect going into the other.
Mhm.
Because it is so drastically different.
So different.
Yeah, I would still. I mean, I own the other books. I bought all of them.
It was a good purchase, friend. It's a good purchase.
I have the whole series, but
I will say you can start with Killjoy, but I feel like you would enjoy it more if you've read the whole series.
Yeah.
I don't have Killjoy, but I have the rest of the series, and I've been excited to read it because everything I've heard from everybody else was like, it's so
a lot
good.
more fleshed out.
It is.
So when this was like selected, I had already pre-ordered it. I already owned it. You know, it was just like I was excited for it.
Yeah, A Good Girl's Guide.
Disappointed.
A Good Girl's Guide has like characters that are more like rounded, like full.
I put Good Girl's Guide up there with The Deceivers and Death Prefers Blondes as some top tier YA thrillers.
I haven't read The Deceivers, but I put A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Like, so with Death Prefers Blondes, like I feel like there was a lot of like real life, like intense moments, but a lot of like humor in there too. You know, like the jokes and just everything.
Good Girl,
like,
I did not know they were going to go as hard as they did.
But A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I think, is really like in terms of like YA thrillers, it's up there for real, because you're getting full blown like characters that she's taken the time to really have backstory, like backstory that matters, like voices that matter.
Holly Jackson stated in an interview she didn't know who the killer was until she finished the book. She had 5 different endings for the book. That is why when you go through the book, you see how this person could be this person could be this person could be this. It's because she wanted your head to spin.
And she did though, and it's like I think that's what makes that series so good, is because the whole time you're like, well, I can see it could be this person, it could be that person, it could be this person, and it's like there's nothing better than have to guess all the way to the end, you know. And like
And
in
you
Five
get like
Survivors-
podcast elements too from
yeah,
time to
and I love that. Like book 2 with the podcast elements was
time.
incredible. But like I feel like I lost my train of thought. Oh my god. Ew. Why'd that happen? But I think reading that series, I think that's why I had so much high hopes for Five Survive, is just because even though they were going to be stuck in a place, I thought that there were going to be so much more like fully realized characters. And it's like where I feel like there were throwaway characters in this, and it's not like you had that many characters to begin with. I felt like there were some throwaway ones, and then when in my mind I'm comparing it to A Good Girl's Guide, which is probably my fault. Like I should have just let this be its own thing, you know. But in my mind, there were so many characters, and none of them were disposable.
See, this one, I don't think she spent as much time on this one.
And
I
that's
feel
what
like her publishers were like, no, we need you to put something out now.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like they just said like, well, sis, like you don't want to miss out on the following you have right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to get something out. And I think that this is one of those times where it was like, you probably should have just waited a little longer. You really should have probably just.
Okay, I will state with Killjoy though. Killjoy takes you back to the beginning of right before A Good Guy murder happens.
Yeah.
And it's a mystery murder party.
Yeah, it's
so you
fun
have
so
to
far.
solve the case through it and what happens in it.
But like it's also a novella, so I judge those a lot.
Yeah, it's 117 pages.
Yeah, it's like with novellas, I'm much, I think, like an easier judge on those because they're not always trying to do too much. It's like just a little bit of like a little like, you know, taste a teaser into the world. But yeah, I'll say like I think the novella that I'm reading so far, I definitely prefer being in that world even for a murder mystery party.
I want a TV show. Can we get a TV show with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder? Like, I feel like that one is set up perfectly to
I would be
a show or a
obsessed.
movie or something.
Obsessed.
Because it's up there with things like its popularity is up there with like Inheritance Games and Truly Devious and stuff like that. I really love Inheritance Games. I really enjoyed Truly Devious. This is better than both of those.
Let me just talk for a minute on the Inheritance Games, okay? Amanda's heard me rage about this in person. I loved the first one, okay? Like I really did. And you know, there's the two brothers that you're like Grayson and what's the other one? James. Her little love triangle. Her, Grayson, and
I don't know.
And I don't hate a love triangle. I definitely, anytime there's a love triangle, I'm very much
did feel forced.
Yeah, like I'm very much team. You know, I have my team, the side that I'm rooting for. When it comes into a love triangle, but this one just felt like, what was the point? Because in my mind, like if there's a love triangle, we got to have time with both characters. Like if you think about Twilight, and some people hate Twilight now, I'll be a Twihard until forever. But like, you know, it's like we had the time with Edward, and then when Edward was away, you know, we had like so much time with Jacob.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up a better love triangle because it is the best love triangle ever written, and Mel will agree with me on this.
I know.
Hold on. Let me just hold on. Keep the
okay.
Because the Inheritance Games really stresses me. Like it's Grayson. Oh, Grayson and James. Is that what Amanda said?
Jameson.
Grayson and
Jameson.
So I don't mind the love triangle thing. I'm very much like team whatever, you know. But I just feel like both sides have to have like page time to get people invested. And whereas like I feel like with the Inheritance Games, the overarching like mystery and all those things I enjoyed, but I hated the love triangle because you're very clearly going in one route. And it was like, what was the point of even adding that other one in there? Because he
I'm
barely had any time
curious.
with her.
I'm curious. Can anybody name the greatest YA love triangle in history before I say it?
Do you want me to? Because I
No. I'm waiting for the comments. Amanda, Nikki, Bethany, Ruth, one of y'all.
I can tell you Dana hasn't read it, so
Oh,
Dana hasn't read it, so she can't name it.
not me.
We have standees of these three, and
Ooh.
they are freaking amazing, and they are perfection. They are the ultimate. She gets both guys.
I can't wait
Without it being a white choose.
I can't wait to hear this.
I want to give it a few moments to see
Yeah,
if someone can name it.
I'm locked in. I can't wait.
Because I'm kind of curious if anybody can name them.
In YA history.
Oh God, no! No one's gonna say PETA and Gail deserved to die. Listen, ugh. Nikki, you might have. I don't want to say the book. Your only hint is Mel. Is legitimately your only hint.
Is it the Mortal Instruments?
No.
No.
Close, but no cigar.
Okay.
it.
Close, but no cigar.
Okay. No, I gotta figure this out.
It's one that you haven't gotten to yet, but you're supposed to start this month.
And there's a cat
the Infernal
involved.
Devices. Is it was it Magnus? Alec?
No.
God, I wish there was a love triangle with that. I wish there was
No,
like
because they're
threesome.
perfect the way they are.
They are,
They
but I
are.
would have
No,
loved
I mean, yeah.
for like some threesome scene
Okay.
kind of to happen. Listen.
So it's the Infernal Devices.
Yes, Amanda. Yes, Amanda. Will, Tessa,
And Jim.
I've heard those names.
Yeah. Dana's supposed to start the Infernal Devices this month.
Sterling keeps going. Are you ever going to finish the Mortal Instrument books that we own so you can catch up? I told him if I don't finish them or even pick them up by the end of the year, we'll unhaul what I haven't read.
Well, by the end of this year, we will be current in Cassandra Clare, I think.
Because I am currently in Dark Artifices on book 2. I'm halfway through book 2. And I had sat it down to read something else at the time that was like more pressing at the time that needed to be read by a certain time. And I just never picked it back up. And now I'm like, I don't know if I want to. Because I'm like, I'm more into this dark erotica, my Mel romances
you're
kind of
definitely
era.
in your like dark romance era right now, I think. Yeah.
I mean, I read Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, and girl,
let me tell you why I'm ready to fight Amazon. Like, I'm ready to go round for round with Amazon because I ordered the Brutal Prince and Throttled, and it was supposed to be here on Friday. And then they sent me a notification saying it's delayed. It'll be there by Tuesday. And if it's not there by Tuesday, we'll give you a refund. And I'm like,
listen, that's what they did for Renovated to Death for me. And it was here the day after they said it was going to be here.
Well, I still haven't got it.
Can we talk about the shower scene? Oh
and
my
that's the thing. I'm so excited because it's like illustrated.
Oh my God, the shower scene. Girl.
Now I'm upset. No, now I'm checking Amazon.
I will be finishing the series. It's up there with the Tate James series I read, and I don't read straight people romance that often.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was about to say I don't read with vaginas in sex scenes, but then I'm like, I read lesbian erotica, so yes, I do.
If you want another good love triangle, I would say the love triangle that's in the Deceiver series by Kristen Simmons.
Oh my God, yes.
Can we hear the ranking? Yes. The ranking that you guys have of love triangles?
Well, those would be top 2 top tiers.
Okay.
Twilight would have to be up there because that's like what Twilight's known for is the
It's
love.
so iconic.
I'm sorry, Hunger Games will never touch that because Gale was a pussy ass character that should have died early on.
See, I didn't read
also
the books.
don't
I
like
only
he
watched the movies, and I was just like, I just felt like Gale
Also-
wasn't that bad in the movie.
also Team Miley, fuck Liam. That's not why I hate Gale. I've always hated Gale.
It sounds like that's why you hate Gale.
Love triangles.
I can't. I'm having a hard time thinking of some love triangles.
Because
It's
the
hard
ones that
when
keep
you're, like,
popping
on the
in my
spot,
head
yeah.
are why choose romances, and I'm like, she gets all three guys.
Love this for her.
Because Tate James, Madison Kate, she ends up with three guys. Oof.
Ooh, hold on. Go through the comments. Go through the comments. You're about to lose your mind.
Okay, hold on. Brutal Prince this week. I only read the Throws and Chills book for March. I can't wait for y'all to read it.
I'm really
I'm gonna
excited for
read
that
it
one.
towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
Nothing beats the House of Mirrors scene in Haunting Adeline. Girl, nothing beats the mirror scene in Featherbed where there was no penetration and I still needed a cigarette afterwards. Listen. Or can we talk about the
We
house
haven't gotten to it
burning
yet.
or the house burning around the house
Yeah.
burning around you because the guy just killed everybody who's ever made fun of you or bullied you. He killed every last one of them and then fucks you as the house is burning around you. In Scream for Us by Molly Doyle, listen. I see the comment. I know what y'all are referring to. Or the Costa Rica scene in Twisted Games. Have not read Twisted
I
Games.
can't wait to read that series.
I don't get why people like Gale. Gale is so bland. He's like a piece of bread. He's
Yeah,
like there's
I
Peter
no
love
literally
bread.
is
flavor.
bread.
Okay.
Oh, no, he is
What'd
the
you say?
cheapest.
I said I love bread. Okay.
That's
He
what I'm
is
saying.
the
PETA is
cheapest.
bread, okay? And here's
He
the
is
thing.
the end piece. He is the end piece.
And
the
I love
cheapest,
the booty
thinnest
slice of
end
bread,
piece.
okay? I
That's
love the
like
booty
you
bread.
throw away. Like there's no flavor, no nothing. He's an unseasoned piece of chicken. He is white people cooking chicken. Listen.
See, and I didn't read the books. I only watched the movies, and I just feel like Gale got too much of a bad rap. Like
he was worse in the book.
and see, it's like one day maybe I'll read them, but like I just feel like PETA really wasn't all that in the book in the movies.
But PETA, Josh Hutcherson is so sexy.
Yeah. Josh Hutcherson aside, I'm talking about like
think he
the
is.
character, and I don't even think he looked that good. But
Same.
yeah, like I think if we're going on looks,
Same.
Liam looks better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Scream for
He
Us.
is pretty.
So good. Give me a good
Listen,
slice of that
Here's
sourdough,
the thing.
though.
Here's the thing. I
I'm
like
sorry, I'd rather have his brother because his brother is Thor, and I'd rather have a god in bed. Okay.
listen. I like the booty slice of the bread, so that's fine with me.
Okay. Are there any other famous?
I want
love
to be between those slices of bread. Okay.
Come on, now we're talking. Now we
But he
are
has
going
no slices
somewhere.
of bread. We've seen his ass. He doesn't have an ass.
No, I'm talking about Liam's one slice and his brother's the other.
I'm sorry. Y'all can have the Hemsworths. I will take my Skarsgårds. I will take my Alexander Skarsgård and my Bill Skarsgård any day. Because listen, the creepy, weird, vampire, dark, like pull me in the dark alley, bite my neck, have your way with me. Listen.
I don't know. The Hemsworths are hot.
The only other love triangle I can think of is Damon, Stefan, and Elena. And I thought Elena was annoying. And I wish Stefan and Damon weren't brothers so that they could fuck.
I tried watching that show, and I think I made it through like 8 episodes, and I was like, I'm okay here. Like I don't need to watch anymore.
So before we end this, we should talk a little bit about our thoughts or expectations for next month. Local Woman Missing.
Yes. What do you guys have? What are your thoughts and expectations?
Well, I personally have never read anything by Mary Kubica.
Me
Neither have I. I'm going in with the lowest of low expectations because the last big name thriller author that I read for the first time being Lisa Jewell. I
Mm,
absolutely hated The Family Upstairs.
let's
I
see.
literally threw the book across the room because I was bored.
God.
So it's like I'm scared. So I'm planning on going
Hey, Marty.
into these that I've never read authors before with lower expectations to hopefully enjoy more. Ooh, that's high praise, Amanda. Has already read Local Woman Missing, and oh my god, it's her favorite thriller of all time.
So I just looked on Goodreads, and this is just kind of it. Go with it as you will. The rating on Goodreads is 4.15.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It-
with 222,000 ratings.
and flipping through it, we get multiple POVs.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward to reading it.
yeah. I'm with
Um,
Nikki. I'm nervous but excited.
Yes.
I haven't read like the synopsis. I'm not gonna read the synopsis. I'm gonna go into it completely blind.
All I know
Um,
is there's a woman missing and something about a woods, and then 11 years later, the girl returns. That's
See,
all I know.
I enjoy thrillers that tie into the past, like that have almost you're getting like two mysteries in one. And that's why, like I talk a lot about Stacey Willingham, like on my channel, Flicker in the Dark and All
I
the
still need
Dangerous
to read
Things.
those.
And it's
I need
like
to get those.
I love it because there's an unreliable narrator and it's two mysteries really in one. Like you're really trying to see what's going on. So that's one of the reasons that makes me excited for Local Woman Missing. Not that I know what the narrator's like, because I've never read any Mary Kubica, but I like that we're bringing in 11 years of the past in the present, and there's clearly a tie that binds.
I do own another Mary Kubica book as well that I haven't read.
Mhm.
It's
And
called The Good Girl.
This is an author that I'm super excited about because a lot of the booktubers and stuff that we follow really love Mary Kubica. Because I know doesn't Kayla from Books and Lala really love Mary Kubica's writing?
Though she says, I think she said she's like read and liked a lot of her books, but they're all forgettable to her.
But she also how many does she read a
She
year
reads a
though?
lot.
She's a champ,
Listen.
man. Like what the heck?
I'm excited to give Mary Kubica a try. That's what I'm excited about this book club is we're getting a lot of new authors to us to try, and we have mixtures of YA and adults.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have any middle grade.
No,
because I don't know. Do they really make middle grade thrillers that
not
often?
not in the way that I think in the way that like
We
I
want the
wanna be
thrills
stressed.
and chill. We want to
Yeah.
be chilled.
Yeah.
We want a book to like give us a nightmare.
Yes, I'm really
I
excited.
mean, I have read a middle grade like that before.
Yeah.
Whispering Pines.
Legit, huh?
Whispering Pines.
Pines, yes.
Which
Oh,
is
I
the
gotta
only
read
reason
was
why
just
it's on my
like-
TBR.
I was like, how the heck am I supposed to go to sleep after reading this book?
I'm gonna have
I
to
was
read
so
that.
disturbed.
I need to read that.
I own it.
But I'm excited for this. I've never read anything by her, so that I think there's always that like nervousness of like, will I jive with her writing, But I'm really excited just to like try it out because the ratings on Goodreads have me excited. People on YouTube have me excited. And not that I'm trying to rush through March's read, but I gotta say, I'm so excited for the next 3 months.
Oh, girl.
And I know that y'all don't know it yet, but I'm actually going to film the announcement video for that like after this. But I am so excited for that.
April's pick I am super excited about. Granted, it's my pick, but I'm excited for Mel's pick and I'm excited for yours.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Granted,
like
I almost bought yours this weekend.
These next 3 after Local Woman Missing, I am so pumped. Like so pumped for those.
I'm super excited for October's pick to get both y'all's thoughts.
I can't wait.
I already told Nikki.
I had to look at the list because I'm like, I forgot. I was like, I forgot what we're reading after that.
Yeah.
I already told Nikki what October's is because I knew she would like scream and freak out because she's the reason why I read that.
Okay.
And I'm just like, I cannot wait to get y'all's thoughts on it.
Oh, also, the April pick I have seen on multiple things, such as Hoopla. I think Hoopla and Scribd and stuff, and I have almost gotten it multiple times, and I'm like, I think that's one that Clint picked, so I'm not going to do that now.
Here's the
Yes.
thing. So the book that Clint picked, I've almost read that. Like I've been in
And
the
it was a
store
random pick, mind
and
you. I
I've
was at the
almost
store
bought
and
it.
it just sounded good.
And the craziest thing is though, is when Clint picked it, right? These past 2 weeks, I'm in like different like reading Facebook groups, and it has been posted so many times. And it's not like it just came out, but it's like, I don't know, everybody's reading it and they're just like, this is so good. And this happened after you already picked it. Like this
And
was
I've
already
seen it
locked in for
compared,
April.
and I have seen it compared by some people to the feeling you have in The Silent Patient and The Wives by Taryn Fisher. I have
Well, I'm
seen
reading The Silent
multiple
Patient this
people.
month, so I'm very excited for that.
I've had multiple people mention that, and I was just like, okay, can we not overhype this? Because I
Yeah.
feel like you're going to overhype this for me, and I'm going to need you to calm down, because those are two of my favorite thrillers. Thanks
Okay,
to
we
Mel.
got some comments.
Wait.
Oh.
Does Nikki know what October's pick is?
Yeah, I told her what October's pick is, because once Dana selected the October, I told her instantly, going, "You're going to be excited."
Clint
It's
can't
like,
keep a secret.
listen,
The Winter People.
Winter
Ooh,
People
Past
by
and Present. I'm gonna have to check it out.
um.
What was The Good Girl? That was another Mary Kubica one?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's excited to have fun. October's pick, y'all. Hope you like The Silent Patient, Dana. It's
Listen, Nikki already told me that I have to give her a play-by-play of all of my
listen.
thoughts
I need
through The Silent Patient.
that play-by-play too.
Yeah.
Same.
I know. I was like,
Listen.
Mel's really told me for real. She was like, you're gonna love The Silent Patient. And it's so funny because like me and like some friends, we have a book club, and our friend picked it. And when we did our little like FaceTime for Verity, she told us, she was like, you guys know why I picked it? She was like, because a girl at work just kept telling her, hey, you really need to read this. Like, it's so good. And so she was just like, well, heck, like I'll read it with my friends. And I was like, well, the craziest thing is everybody's telling me that I'm going to be obsessed. So I can't wait.
It's so good.
I can't wait.
It's so good. I got my
What's
mother-in-law
your
to
thoughts
read
in our
it, and she
murder
read the
group
entire
chat?
thing in a day. Like,
You read it in a day?
yeah, like
I
what
read it
they
in
were
a
here
day.
visiting, and she pulled it off my shelves, and I was like, oh, you're gonna like that. And she is a go to bed early kind of person, and she was up until like 2 a.m. reading this book. She was like, I couldn't stop.
Oh,
I listened to the audiobook while working, and I kept screaming in certain spots, and like a coworker would come tap me on the shoulder, and I'd freak the fuck out.
That's funny. I will definitely put my thoughts in that little women's murder chat. But
I
I've
also can't
got
wait
to
to
tell
hear your
Mel all my
thoughts.
thoughts too.
I also cannot wait to hear your thoughts on First to Die.
You can put it in the Thrills and Chills book club.
I will.
chat.
Yeah.
In the Thrills and Chills and the Murder Club.
The murder.
Just copy and paste.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because Dana, me, and Nikki are reading
First to Die.
Women's Murder Club.
Here's the thing. Both of them have read it, and I'm still waiting on Libby to give me my audiobook. I'm so sad because they're both freaking out about how good it was. And I was like, like I told him, I was like, I'm about to use an Audible credit because my patience is wearing thin.
And the ending, I was like, I totally forgot that happened. The fuck.
I can't wait.
And Mel has unhauled said book multiple times.
Multiple times?
No,
Not multiple. Not multiple. I was trying to make a joke.
Oh.
She only bought it
something
because
that I put in my little free library, so I still have it.
It's the first on my channel I tried to do a read along. It went nowhere because I didn't have enough followers at the time or friends at the time I just had like Mel and like a handful of others that were like, and no one was reading it.
Mm.
So I got to like book 4 and then I just stopped the read along because I had no one to discuss it with. So Nikki and I have both stated that Nikki said she's gonna read the next one and see how she feels. If it
Mhm.
continues in a way, she'll continue. She's not guaranteeing to read the full series.
Yeah.
I'm not guaranteeing to read the full series because if I start to feel like it gets monotonous, I'm unhauling the whole fucking series and just saying I'm never going to finish it. But I really want to finish it.
Yeah. Well, I bought the whole series, so I'm in it to win it.
So you and I, at least,
Yeah.
are in it to
Yes.
win it at least till the
Yes.
end of
I
next
think
year.
Nikki will write it out with us, honestly.
Yes.
Oh, look what she said.
I would have never picked it up if it wasn't for Dana.
Dude.
And I never would have finally got to it if it wasn't for T in the coffee group, like in the discussion in the Discord, because she put up, I think, was it like her January like picture of her reading wrap
Yeah,
up?
she had read the first 4.
Yeah, and somebody was like, "Wow, you read 4 of James Patterson?" And she's like, "Well, I'm reading them with a friend," and she
They
wanted to
do
read them.
read
So
a
she
little
was,
quickly.
huh?
They do read really quickly.
Yeah, and she said she was like, she's like, I actually really am enjoying it. And then I was like, well, you know, I've been wanting to read that since like 2017. Now you're making me feel like I need to read it. And then it was too expensive on Amazon, so then I got the whole series. But
Nikki said she'll give 4 books to see how she feels, and then she'll know if she wants to continue or not.
I feel like that's fair.
I
If
will
you're not
say-
in it by 4 books,
I
it's
will
not-
say, with this series, there are a couple of filler books. Because it being such a long series,
yeah,
there has to be filler books to get you from point A to point B.
okay,
Of this exciting thing happened here, to get to this exciting, you're going to need like a filler.
that's fine. That's fine. As long as it's not all trash.
I
'Cause
mean,
it's like if I enjoy
he's a
like,
shitty
where it's
person.
at and where it gets to, I can suffer through a filler if I'm that invested in like the overarching plot.
There is a major thing that happens, and I don't remember which book it is, and I can't wait for us to get to that happening. Because it changes things
Wendy's.
drastically.
Yeah, it's sitting here getting cold.
Oh no.
I was waiting until we were done.
Well,
Book
yeah.
1 was decent. A lot happened. A lot of his books, a lot of stuff happens. Same with in the Death series. I personally prefer the Women's Murder Club because it's a group of women.
Is In Depth the James Patterson series too?
In Depth is J.D. Robb, which is actually Nora Roberts.
Yeah.
Every book she writes in the In Depth series, any book written under J.D. Robb is in the In Depth series. There's like 58 books in that series.
Okay.
Or more. Nikki says you can eat, Mel.
I'm having fun playing with my face.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Better-ish. I sound a lot better than I did. And I still have like fever on and off, and my ears are still messed up. Like I have my balance is terrible. Like I can barely walk without falling over to the side. Because I ruptured my eardrum and stuff. So yeah, my poor little eardrum was bleeding.
Oh, hold on. I want to get a clip for the vlog. That sucks though. I'm glad you are feeling some better.
Yeah,
It's just like you got hit with everything all at once.
Oh yeah, and then and then I'm on antibiotics for my ears, and what antibiotics does to the females.
Life is hard. Okay,
So she's just having a gay old time.
she's yeah.
It's just
My girl's been down bad.
yeah. Man, it's just been constant. Like what the heck? It's been ridiculous. And then I was sick the entire trip too.
Yeah, that sucks.
And I'm like, what the heck was wrong with me during the trip? And,
Hey,
and then
Mel.
when we got home, Marty and I had to quarantine from each other until just like 2 days ago because
Everybody in the house had a quarantine from each other. It was crazy.
they had COVID. Marty had COVID and strep. I had flu and pneumonia. And I was like, I can't get around them because
Hey Mel, I
I could
suggest
barely
no
breathe.
trips for a while. It's like the last couple, they're like somebody's sick, something's missing.
Dude, I
something-
have so many trips planned.
He's a traveler. He is a traveler.
We just let's see. So I've got in August, Marty and I are flying to Amsterdam and doing a transatlantic from Amsterdam to New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing the Arctic Circle, Iceland, and all that during the time when you can see like the northern
Please don't
lights.
Titanic on us.
Do it.
Please don't Titanic on us.
We are taking the Titanic cruise.
I know. It's like, please don't Titanic on us, though.
And then in February, Marty and I are flying to Rome and taking a Mediterranean cruise. And then he's going to fly back, but I'm going to stick around in Rome. And my mom's going to fly out there, and we're going to do some Italy. And then,
Oh my God.
then going to fly home. And then a couple of weeks later, in the middle of April, going to fly to Barcelona, possibly as well as Dana, and do a transatlantic to Port Canaveral.
Yes.
And then in November, Marty and I are going to fly to Rome and do a transatlantic from Rome to Tampa.
Wow.
I mean,
You're-
Sterling and I are trying to plan a trip to San Francisco.
Fine.
That's still
So-
exciting. Going anywhere is exciting.
Yeah.
Because he wants our big trip to go to San Francisco.
I want to go to San
The
Francisco.
gay capital of
Me
the
too.
world.
I've been to the Full House house.
I'm sorry, I will go hunt down the Charmed House and I will be taking a picture outside of that.
Yeah,
And everyone will see it for like the rest of life.
absolutely.
'Cause it's me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I really want to go to California. I've been to California, but I really want to go to Disney in California so bad.
I've
So
never
bad.
been to California.
I love it.
I've been to both Disneys.
I've been to every southern state
It's not much different.
because of
No.
family, and I've been to Indiana because of family. But past that, I've been to Salem.
I would love to go to Salem.
Same.
I would like to go to Salem during October and actually have the money to afford that.
Yeah.
But he wants to go to San Francisco because of disco and gayness and I was like, hey,
so
while we're here, we
expensive.
should totally like go see Kaylani. And then we saw how far away Kaylani is.
Yeah, that's not
So
close.
we're like, never mind.
That's not. California's big.
So
If
big.
she wants to drive and meet up with us one day, that would be cool. But that's a 6-hour drive. Unless she wants to
And
drive
she's also
somewhere
got
3
baby.
hours. If she wants to drive 3 hours and we drive 3 hours and we meet in the middle,
It's still 6
How-
hours round trip.
Yeah. How
And
far
she
is
got
she
baby.
from Los Angeles?
Like she's close to Los Angeles.
Is she?
Yeah, because
So,
that's
like,
when I went to see her. I flew into Los
She's
Angeles. And she picked me
Anaheim.
up.
so then, she's at Disney. Well, maybe. I mean, I know you and Sterling are going to San Fran, but like, if you guys have never been to California, like, you might want to go to LA and like sightsee there. She could probably meet you.
I told him, I was like, I want to see Alcatraz. Can we go see Alcatraz? I want to see wicked, weird, dead people.
I love that for you. I love that for you.
Usually, every trip he wants to plan, like the rule is we have to see dead people somewhere.
I love
Because
that.
he's very much about his family trees and
Okay.
he's all about his family heritage, even though he doesn't particularly care for his family sometimes.
Mhm.
Certain relatives, I feel the same, but we're both very like interconnected with where our family is and like where they come from. Like he's planning a trip to Texas to go see a gigantic record store, and then we're gonna stop by a town in Texas just to go to a cemetery on the way home.
Okay. I love that. Okay. So,
I was like, okay.
hold on. I want to get a little clip for the vlog. Hey, y'all.
Yay!
Our first thrills and chills. Okay. All right. I do love you guys though. I just want to make sure I say that on film.
Mwah.
I do want to travel to California again though. I do want to go there again. Like I've been out there a few times. And I've been to Washington. Like I went to Portland in Oregon and then Seattle for
I
a
want to
couple
go to
days.
Washington.
Don't
Yeah.
be surprised if we just up and move to a different state.
Come
I
over
love
to
that for you.
Tennessee.
Oh God, no, we're not going anywhere near Tennessee.
No,
No
I
offense.
wouldn't. I wouldn't either if I were you.
Did you see the new law that got passed?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That Oklahoma's trying to pass it here. So we're like, all of our friends are like, how much are tiny homes? Can we like build a village in like Washington and like
Yeah.
the woods area? We'll build our own commune.
Listen, Portland's so great. It's, you know what they say in Portland? They say keep Portland weird. Like everything is just so like everybody do what you want to do. Oh wait, well, hold on. There's some comments.
I have to wait until my son's a bit older before I can even consider.
Yeah.
Y'all are making me want to travel though.
Mel makes me want to travel.
Hello?
Like, I love this for her.
I
love traveling.
I would like to borrow your bank account to go do that sometimes.
Well, like 2 of the trips, the Barcelona transatlantic one and the Rome transatlantic one, those essentially are, with the exception of the buying the plane ticket to get there, are free.
Yeah.
Because Carnival wants me on their boat so that maybe they can get money back.
And in my head, I'm like,
I literally
so
got
you're
2
going-
free cruises because of how I did in the casino.
That's incredible. Is
And
this
I'm
from
over-
when you guys just went or
Yeah.
wow? I was telling my dad about the trip and that you were talking to me about, and he was like, "You've got to do it," and I was like, "I know, like I've got to."
One of the trips that I had an option of picking was legit a 22-day trans-Pacific from Brisbane, Australia, that went to Tahiti and Honolulu and ended in Seattle. And that was a free cruise I could have selected.
And you didn't select it?
No, because each one only has like certain dates. Like you can only pick these certain dates. And for that particular one is next month. I'm like,
God, no. Yeah.
Australia again next month.
She's like, "Not yet. Too soon."
See, either that or I'm just going to have you plan our trip for us so that you know how to save the money on how to plan for it. So we may just like send you, this is where we want to go. Have you plan it for us.
I'm very good at that.
I was gonna say, Mel, really, yeah, you are.
I'm all about going to lots of places and doing lots of things, but I'm a cheap girl.
And you get your bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Listen, Sterling, yesterday we sold a bunch of books to Half Price Books and we got $114. And that was going to go towards this Dolly Parton record subscription. That's $128 for 3 months and 3 records. But me and him talked about it. We ended up using the money at a record store and got 10 records for the price we would have gotten for 3.
Well, that's
we
more bang for your buck for sure.
And we found a vinyl that I freaking screamed when I saw it. It's Josie Cotton's Johnny Are You Queer from the 80s. And like I flipped out.
I'm glad you found things that you like really, really like.
And we bought Dolly Parton albums.
Oh, love that.
But like I got 5 albums and he got 5 albums.
Oh, then that's definitely better. Like you got more. Definitely for
I told him it's like I would rather do the more. It's like, yeah, we would have gotten the opportunity to get these like shiny like special records or like merch, but the merch looks like postcards and we can make our own damn merch. And I would rather do the merch for a singer that I'm more like like Trixie Mattel or Orville Peck right now.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, Nikki. It is okay. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, I pointed that out to her. I was like, it's not the first.
It's okay. Any mention of Thrills and Chills is great.
Well, yeah, my mom always takes me on holidays abroad, so I've not had to pay for one so far.
I love that for you. I love that for you. Bethany, if you ever make it to Florida, let me know. Let me know. Really, any of you, anybody out there, y'all make it to Florida, let me know.
I keep telling Sterling, like, I want to go to Florida, but then all these anti-gay laws happen, and I'm like, well, we would be safe in Florida.
So I might, with this Barcelona one, I might drive down to Florida.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking. Drive down to Florida. And
Come to Oklahoma, Nikki.
Maybe drive to like Orlando.
Yeah.
And then have you
Bethany.
Meet me in Orlando?
Yeah.
And we fly to Barcelona together.
Yeah.
My car gets left in Orlando. We fly to Barcelona, cruise on back, and then I have a car to get myself home.
Yeah, because Port Canaveral is like, that's right there.
Speaking of Florida, hi, Sam.
Hi.
Or I could just drive all the way down to Melbourne. That works too.
Yeah.
And we can fly from there to Barcelona.
Yeah. No, I think we should definitely go together.
I mean, I may just have to convince Sterling us all to make like a Florida trip.
I just think like Nikki.
Is there a book convention that lands in Florida?
I'll say, Nikki, if you can come in the summer, I think Clint, you should come in the summer, and then Mel, you should come in the summer, and like let's go like adventure. I already told the two of you that I need you guys to come down so we can go to Miami and go to the Palace because it's such a good drag show.
Oh yes, I was
and
like,
the food is so good.
I think I've been there. Because of one of my friends, he was getting married in he got married in Key Largo. And I was his best woe man.
I love that.
And so I planned his bachelor party, and we went there. We did our dinner there, like drag show and dinner, and he loved it. So
yeah, I would say I really enjoy the Palace. And then there's a one in Orlando that I really want to go to that I haven't. I think it's called Hamburger Mary's.
Oh my god, I would love to see Hamburger Mary's in fucking person.
Yeah, there's one.
We were supposed to get one at one point in Oklahoma, and then the deal fell through, and I was so mad.
Listen, I just think like in the summer, we should do some fun things. Like
out.
We can go. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about Disney, but we can go to Disney. I love Disney. I'm obsessed.
We're the Disney household, darling.
No, I know you are.
Have you seen the Stitch collection?
Yeah. Like
I mean, I would, if we're in Florida, I would have to stop and come see you too, Sam. And we can go to all the witchy stores.
But I think like we could have so much fun.
I don't know if I told you, but once upon a time, I lived in Florida.
You guys, listen. You did tell me, and not only did she live in Florida, we lived in like the same county,
Brevard County.
Yes, which I think is so crazy.
I mean, it's only an 18-hour drive from Yukon to Orlando.
I lived in Titusville.
Hours.
Across the river from the Kennedy Space Center.
Yep, I was just at Kennedy Space Center like a couple weeks ago. I got my space stickers right here.
Yeah. So I'm semi-familiar with some of these places.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I have family in Florida, so if we see them, we've got to shoot them.
Okay,
that's all that matters.
You let me know. Like it was so funny because I found out Mel used to live in this county when we had a freaking hurricane go through, and she was having a live on her channel, and I was literally at my parents' house in a nightgown waiting for a hurricane to come through doing greeting sprints with Mel. And then I disappeared because I broke a lock on a door and this door wouldn't close. And literally there's wind whipping through. We're legit waiting for this hurricane to come through. And I'm like, oh my God, like freaking out. And my dad is so mad. And I was like, I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. And then my dad felt bad because my dad's so sweet. Then he felt bad because he got mad at me. And then like I'm sad, and then he calls my brother, and my brother has to come over, and we're changing the lock, and then there's me being like so sarcastic.
This is all during my live show.
All during her live, and then there's me being sarcastic. I said, "Well, after it was all over, I said, you're welcome, Dad." And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Now you have a new lock on your door that actually works and won't break." So I think you're very thankful now, right? So
How far is
there's that. And this was all during Mel's live. Like I was gone, and then I was
You
gone
were
for
like,
like an
did she
hour.
get blown away by the hurricane? What happened?
Yeah, like, and it's literally, I was like, yeah, I was sending her, I think in the Discord, I was like sending like the trees blowing away. Like, yeah,
You were getting worried during that live, yeah.
yeah.
I
Nikki-
mean, it's a 15-hour drive to you, Sam.
Nikki says Tennessee's halfway point between her and Dana, and she's just gonna make stops to meet everyone and say, "Yeah, you meet me."
Yeah.
You have fun in Tennessee, because currently I will not go near Tennessee. No offense, Mel.
I mean,
That
you
is
might have to go
nothing
through
against-
Tennessee, through Tennessee to get to Florida, probably.
No, I will make sure we don't have to. If we have to take a couple of extra hours, I'll make sure we don't.
Nikki said she's free from the middle of May to the end of July, so I'm excited.
Okay, so question:
Yes.
are we all sleeping in your apartment?
So we can get a bunch of air mattresses. My
I
apartment's not that
mean,
big, but
Nikki, you should come for Pride.
we can make
in
it
Oklahoma.
happen. We can make it happen.
Apparently, we're gonna have to take a trip to Florida one day. Meet everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Better
like,
than Tennessee.
I love Tennessee. My dad's from Tennessee.
I mean, you can visit Tennessee.
I want to.
You
I
can see
want-
them at Pink Room.
I'd be so happy. My family, we really like going to Gatlinburg, like
was gonna cook
during
dinner, too.
like Thanksgiving, Christmas time.
If you want to
We
eat all of
really
them, I
enjoy
can
that
buy
because
more.
my dad's from Tennessee,
You
so
like
he
them?
grew up there. So it's like we like to go up there, and I always tell him, I said, God, I was like, why couldn't you guys have just lived in
Okay.
Tennessee? Why did we have to live in Florida? Because Florida is so miserably hot.
You're blocked.
Like,
I remember.
and there's no seasons. You're just hot all the time.
My favorite place out of all the places we live, because we've lived a lot of places, has been here. I love.
Listen,
I hate some of the things that have recently happened.
Yeah.
But as
When I
far
talk
as like the seasons and the way
The
it looks,
scenery, the seasons,
and-
all that. Like I'm when I talk of my love for Tennessee, I'm taking out like some
Politics
current
and-
things. Yeah.
yeah.
But me and my sister-in-law always say like we would move to Tennessee in a heartbeat.
Been to Nashville. I'm
I don't
in
know.
Chattanooga, or sort of outside
So-
Chattanooga.
I'm
Nikki said, yeah. So if you see me profusely sweating when I'm there, no, you didn't. Exactly. Exactly. Don't worry. Nikki.
I'm here.
Listen, if you guys do your makeup and you come to Florida, this is what you need. Urban Decay all-nighter. This will seal it up, okay?
Ma'am.
Because the sweat will get you.
I remember, like, I would walk around
Listen, Linda. Come
in
to
just a big
Oklahoma.
t-shirt, big t-shirt and underwear, and walking around my apartment because I was just like, it is too hot for pants.
It is, yeah.
Listen, come to Oklahoma. We're the bipolar state that can't decide what fucking season it is. In the morning, it's snowing. By noon, it's 130 degrees outside. Then it starts to rain, which the humidity raises up. And then it's icing at night.
Wow. Listen, for real, if we do this like great Florida trip, we should get like an Airbnb. Because there's some like in Orlando, or if we went like down south to Miami, that are like top tier.
I'm gonna need help convincing Sterling because I just told him we were making a trip to Florida, and he's like, I didn't plan on making any trips anywhere near Florida ever because there are laws. So he's like, I can't say me in Florida.
So then we'll see Clint in
I
Florida.
was like, okay, I'll be in Florida then.
Yeah. I was about to say, I was like, because in Orlando, my friend's living his best life up there, and there's a gay bar that called Southern, like Southern Nights, and we have like I go with him there, and we have so much fun.
Girl, if you come to Oklahoma,
Yeah,
we will take you to the clubs.
I've
We
been.
took Mel to the clubs.
yeah.
And
I agree with
Nikki
Nikki.
should come
Then
for
you come,
Pride
and we'll just hang.
because I don't know if I'll be able to do it this year because apparently June and July are already taken for. Because July has mine, Sterling's, and Caitlin's birthdays,
Oh.
and June has 2 different Pride events. So we've already stated our poor livers, and I am gonna be the designated driver for everybody.
Oh,
And I get to watch and see how many times Caitlin and Sterling fight over a woman on who gets to flirt with the woman or not and try to get in her pants.
I love that for them.
Literally, hold on. Literally, we were at the district for a show, and freaking, there was this really cute butch lesbian sitting right next to us with a group of people that Caitlin knew. Caitlin and Sterling are so drunk and so high that they are literally messaging in our group chat, fighting on who gets to approach the girl. And I was like, she's a lesbian. She's gonna take Caitlin over you. Caitlin has what she wants, not you. And the minute the girl took off her jacket and he saw the "In This Moment" shirt, I think he like flooded his basement. And I was just like, it's just a band tee. Like, I need y'all to like chill.
Yes.
Like, chill out, people.
Nikki says, well, I still want to come this summer. And Nikki, you better still come this summer. And Mel, the invitation is still open for you to come this summer, even though Clint is a fully booked person.
Hi, Sam.
I am down.
Nikki,
no, for
you should
real.
stop in Oklahoma for Pride in June, then go to Florida and join them and have some fun. And you can come to some Pride events with us.
Wow, Nikki, you're about to be booked in the summer too. I love that.
We'll get you drunk, take you to some good lesbian. See, we prefer going to the lesbian bars. We went to the Boom because with Mel because we realized it was a show that I could be in.
Mm-hmm.
I could be around that I could go to because What's Her Bucket wasn't there. So I was like, hey, we can go watch this show. And I don't have to worry about What's Her Bucket.
What's Her Bucket? That's so funny.
I have hold on. So I already did Xander's like schedule for the year. And I actually took the first 2 weeks of May off for doing a like giving him a break, but also giving me a break.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't follow like a regular school schedule. He follows whatever schedule I create. And so yeah, he's getting the first 2 weeks of May off. And I did that because my birthday is May 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Mother's Day is the following weekend. So I'm free.
Yeah, I'm not done with we're not done with school until May 22nd for us.
That'll probably be the same for Nikki around
then. I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Because you two have the school schedules.
Yeah, and I work during the summer, but I can get time off. Like I just have to say, like, hey, I'm not coming this week.
I mean, all y'all gotta do is let me know who's coming to Oklahoma, where I needs to go, type of thing, and then I'll just tell work, be like, I can't be there that week, like I did for Mel.
I have my girl still until the end of first week of May.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, I can because I can just not take those 2 weeks off. I can move it so that I
Mhm.
have the time some other time.
Yeah.
So
Well, we should really like for real plan this. And you and Nikki should come down and we'll FaceTime Clint
Yes.
and hold him for a photo.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
down.
excited.
Because I've got some convincing to do for the hubby.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you guys would still have a lot of fun in Florida because
I think we would, but
Yeah.
he's the one that I've got to sell on it.
yeah, like DeSantis sucks, but like not everything in Florida sucks.
I mean,
Like
we're in
DeSantis and the
Oklahoma.
sun.
I
Huh?
mean, we're in Oklahoma. We understand people suck.
Exactly.
Listen.
Exactly. Like DeSantis and the weather can suck, but yes, Nikki, start the chat on Insta. Woo, I'm so excited. I just love that like my online friends are like my real friends,
Yeah.
you know? Because like honest to God, this has been I've gotten more out of like booktube, you know, in these last few months than I think I ever even thought would happen like ever. And just like meeting people and having like not just like, hey, we both like books, but having like genuine like connections with people is
Mhm.
just so much fun. So
Mhm.
much fun. So it just makes me happy.
I mean, like when Mel came down, it was a blast.
I loved watching those videos of you guys together.
My
It's like
family
you
still
could see
talks
the
about
joy.
her.
You could see the joy of like you guys actually being able to be like share a space, like be in the
Yes.
same room, you know?
And oh my God, experiencing his family. That was something I'll never forget.
Oh my God, my family has gotten worse since then. Nana Bev has gotten crazier.
His Nana. Oh my God, she killed me.
Apparently, she's sleeping in another room now. Like, I don't know what's going on. And she was very vocal to my 18-year-old cousin about what she does and doesn't do in the bedroom. That I'm just like, this is not needed to have in a conversation with my 18-year-old cousin, who's now in her first adult relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Nana Bev was like, "Do you want 1 inch, 3?" And I was like,
That's it.
So her nickname is 18-inch.
I really love that. I love this for you.
Because
granted, she was talking about cake, but
she was talking about cake. But I looked at her and I was like, you've got a bunch of room with a bunch of perverts. Of course, and you're going like this 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. It's like, if that's what 3 inches looks like to you, no wonder you let your husbands get away with things. Listen,
oh my God.
my family, oh my God.
It was so funny. It was so funny. I laughed so
She
much.
was so angry that night because we were all making fun of her, apparently. And apparently, I was the worst instigator.
I was just dying.
And I'm like, how is I the worst instigator? I'm just.
She's like, how? He's like, how am I the problem?
I'm like, normally I'll say I am the problem, but in this case, Darla and Jim were already nagging on you before we even got there. So how the hell am I the problem?
That's funny.
Okay, advice for interviewing authors.
Ooh, who are you interviewing?
Drew is interviewing the author of Silver Like Flame, Amy Wan Zhang. He is about to interview them in a few minutes.
Oh, in a few minutes.
Well, I have no advice because I've never done
have read the book.
Oh, it's Song of Silver, Flame Like Night. And the author is Amelia Win Zhao. This book.
Pretty book. Ask questions about the book. Ask
if she has to have an item.
What inspired the book. you're talking about the characters.
God, I want to read
Bethany, haven't read it.
Hashtag haven't read it.
that. Hashtag ain't that the truth?
It's like it's our Discord motto, because like we're all just like, hey, look at this book. Oh yeah, I haven't read it. And then it's like it's every single day. It's haven't read it.
I don't know. Lately, it's been
Oh, I have-
that's on my wish
Two
list.
copies, but haven't read it.
Mhm.
I'm like, it's on my wish list because of Dana. It's on my wish list because of Nikki. It's on my wish list because of Mel. It's on my wish list because of this person. Listen.
I was cracking up. There was one video I posted and Clint commented, and he's like, I feel like this is just like Mel and I have controlled your TBR. And I was like, yeah, pretty
It
much.
was Death Prefers Blondes.
Mhm.
What else was in that video?
I don't even
Wasn't House and Cerulean Sea one of them?
No.
Or Under the Whispering Door? It was
Mm-mm.
no, okay, it wasn't any of him.
I don't remember. I remember like
I remember there was like 3 or 4 books, and I was just like,
yeah, it was
well,
Death
Mel
Prefers
controlled these.
Blondes, The Chaos of Standing Still,
Okay.
Grave. It's all coming back now because I think it was
Grave.
like January. And
Yeah.
I've read all those, yeah. And it was just so funny because I was like, wow. I said, it really is because I just feel like, yeah, Mel told me to read this. Clint told me to read this.
I'm just like 2 of those were former Season-a-thon group picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was funny because like I have been like a big instigator of getting people to read Death Prefers Blondes. I got Clint to read it. I got everybody to read it when we did it for the readathon. And I was like, I just love pushing that book at people because it's so freaking good.
So good.
See, you forced people to read that, and I have forced people to read a lot of TJ Klune.
At the moment, I'm just like, bought this because of Dana, bought this because of Mel, bought this because of coffee.
Oh yeah, Amanda said Dana and Mel have talked about so many that I ended up putting them on my wish list.
Listen, your wrap-ups and things, I'm just like, I haven't read Nick Stone, so I added 2 Nick Stones to my wish list.
Good.
I haven't read this author, so I added this author to it. Oh my God, Dana's reading another book that sounds good. Fucking hell. I missed out on that 5 years ago. Fucking hell, where have I been?
That's how I feel about everything because I wasn't reading when so many like huge series happened that people were like have been like obsessed with that are like booktube OGs, like tried and true books that is like I'm experiencing them for the first time because I just went years and years where I didn't read anything.
See,
So
that
it's
is why I am slowly making a list of authors that I'm interested in that I haven't gotten to, and then there's the list of authors that I'm like, I never got to their books, but they're so big of a staple that they have so many books in their catalog where all their books are interconnected, interwoven, everything.
Jennifer L. Armentrout
is on a list of I will never read.
Which is because of Mel. I'm reading Jennifer L. Armentrout.
It was because of Mel that I read Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have finished Storm and Fury, and I have DNF'd from Blood and Ash 3 times.
I have a friend that she loves Jennifer L. Armentrout, but she hates the From Blood and Ash series. She's like, I hate it.
I just went, there's too many authors with interconnecting books. Yeah. I hated Brandon Sanderson's writing, so I was like, good, I don't need him in my life. He's a shitty human being anyways.
Oh, I love Skyward, though.
He donates money to his church, who puts money towards anti-LGBT organizations. It's like, thank God I didn't like your writing. I'm like, but I have tried some, and then there's some that I'm just like, go away. Mm-hmm. Like, Shauna McGuire is on that potential middle thing of, I liked one book by her, hated another, but I really want to try the Wayward Children series.
Okay, so listen, I just bought the first 3, even though I've already read the first 3, and I'm going to give them another try because I like the idea of the Wayward Children series, but she really, I'm not gonna lie, like she really irritated the fire out of me in, I think, the first book, because I really love the Chronicles of Narnia. I'm making my way through the books, but I just love the story. Like, I think it's just so fun. And her whole like Shawnee McGuire, like the Wayward Children thing is all about like portal, like like they live in different worlds and they through portal magic, like they come into the real world and then you get to go into their world. And it's like, sis, you're not the first person that did that. Like, and you're not the last person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all of these things have been redone, have been done. Everybody's just taking their own spin on everything. And she legit threw like super duper shade at C.S. Lewis talking about like, oh, the wardrobe. And I was just like, that felt like unnecessary.
Wardrobe was out long before you were even
That's
born.
what I'm saying. It's like, it just felt so unnecessary. It was like, you didn't make up a portal, magic. You didn't make that up. And you're doing it differently with a different story. And that's fine. But like, what was the point of bringing him up? Like, that just felt like such a cheap shot, especially when your books are so short. You need to take those pages to do something else with them, honey, because like, what was the point?
See, with her,
her books were 3 stars to me. But I want to try them again, but it just felt like there wasn't even enough. Like they're quick reads, but like, it just felt like you should focus maybe on your characters and your story and not on like why you think his was stupid. It was like, for what? What did that bring to you?
I have her little box set on my wish list to eventually get the first 3 because I really, really loved Indexing by her, which is a book I still need Mel to read because I feel like it'll become her favorite book of all time. Because it is fairy tale retellings in a whole new way where everybody, like, this fog is over a town and people start waking up as these people in these, and there are detectives trying to stop some of the fairy tales from happening. Like this person
called what?
Indexing. It's only
and that's Shawnee McGuire.
Yeah, I really loved Indexing. Like, it's like you have the Pied Piper, you have Cinderella's evil stepsisters, like each of the people in this detective agency, like not detective agency, but they're like FBI, but for fairy tale creatures. And some of them are fairy tale, like they've woken up in their stories. Like if this character eats an apple, she knows she's going to fall asleep. So she stays away from apples. It's like you wake up in this because the fog is connecting to your family because it sees a fairy tale and it's forcing it to happen. So people are being killed and murdered and good people are turning evil when they shouldn't.
Okay.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
But then I read Rosemary and Rue, and that is one of my most hated books of all time.
And that's also by her?
Yes. It is the start of her October Day series. What was the point of turning her into a fish in the prequel or in the prologue? What the fuck is the point of turning her into a fucking fish? If it was just to get her away from her husband and her daughter, cool, do something else. Yeah. Because it was never mentioned again after she was turned back into like whatever creature she is. I still piss off at that.
Look at the comments. Amanda said, because of Mel, I bought Going Dark. I just want you to know, because of Mel, so many of us in this dang Discord group have bought Going Dark.
I want to read Going Dark, but it's Melissa De La Cruz, and she's a hit or miss author for me.
Look at Bethany. There's so many books. Everyone keeps saying, I'm planning on reading this soon. So I'm like, well, I have to join on this. The FOMO gets me too.
Super excited. Last week at Target, the Headmaster List by Melissa De La Cruz just came out, and they only had one copy. It was $20, and my fiance bought it for me because, like, I have to have it.
Oh, Amanda also said, I bought Death Prefers Blondes because of you guys, but haven't read it yet.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, and Drew said you recommended it to him for
his 12 follower challenge. Yeah.
Wayward Children is one of my favorites, but I feel like it's one people either find meh or really love. I have FOMO for that series, and I feel like I'm in this era of short, cozy adult fantasies.
I have children books.
You read them, Mel?
I've read some of them, like the first 3 or 4, and
that's what I've heard. Is her book, The Light Between Worlds, is almost identical to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
See, and it's like, why are you hating when you're doing like the same thing?
They're very much vibes. Reads, but book 8 was so much darker than all the others. Is what I keep hearing, but I have to start at book 1. Never read those books, but the first is on my wish list. Speaking of retellings, do those count towards the yes, they do. Because the prompt on the bingo board's actually supposed to also say fairy tale retellings, and it doesn't.
Well, it says retellings. So
No, it says fairy tale, classic or fairy tale.
oh yeah.
It does not say retellings, but it's supposed to say retellings.
Yeah.
We didn't catch that until like it had already been up for a while.
Mm.
I bought Going Dark after Dana's book haul because I was like, the amount of times I've heard about this book from both of you.
Let me tell you, okay? So we were on like just like a little coffee hangout, right? And Mel was like, "You guys, I just pre-ordered like a crap ton of books. Do you want to hear about them?" And we were like, "Duh." Like, yeah. And so she kept going, like, she's like, "This is one I think Dana will like," because I feel like everybody knows if somebody's being murdered, Dana will probably enjoy this. I don't know what that says about me, but yes.
Fucking hell, it's going on my wish list now.
See, and then so Mel read it to us, and I was like, well, dang, I actually do think I will like this. And then we just kept talking about it, and then I bought it, and then like I couldn't get it out of my head.
Yes.
And the cover is like, oh, perfection. Absolute perfection. I said, I was like, somebody has to pick this for the buddy read for coffee since like 1,000 of us have it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the cover gives me Death Prefers Blondes vibes, but darker.
Yeah.
But what is this? Win, lose, die, kill, die?
What is that?
That's all I see is win, lose, kill, die by Cynthia Murphy.
Right now.
Failure will be fatal.
Win, lose,
when I
kill,
typed
die.
in Going Dark, this was the second one recommended.
Win, lose, kill.
There is no
die.
synopsis. The fuck you mean there's no synopsis?
Okay, so the synopsis for that.
Everyone wants to be head girl until the murder begins. The students of Morton Academy are high achievers, selected based on an academic excellence. So when a series of murders targets the school's brightest and best, the pressure is on. Someone is determined to clean their path to to clear their path to the top. They'll stop at nothing, but who is it? That is what it says on the back of the book.
Yeah, it also says a high school slasher with a lethal twist, perfect for fans of Karen McManus, Holly Jackson, and Gossip Girl.
And wouldn't you know, I love two of those things for sure.
And it's got a 3.79 on Goodreads.
Well, it just got added to my wish list as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have to get this now. I have to.
What is this?
Because now they see, I hate when they do that. They put those trigger words for people like me, Karen McManus and Holly Jackson. Now I got to feel like I got to read it.
Oh, this one's about friendship. Never mind. I thought it was a thriller. I saw a book and I was like, ooh, pretty cover. What is this about? Okay, what the hell is the Headmaster's List? Because I just saw the cover for that. One of them was driving, one of them was high, one of them screamed, one of them died.
Well, listen, Melissa De La Cruz, she put out Going Dark in January, and then she put out that book in February, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, it says one of them was driving, one of them was high, one of them screamed, and one of them died. When 15-year-old Chris Morris tragically killed in a car crash, Argyle Prep is full of questions. Who is
One
at
of
the
us
wheel,
is
and more
lying,
importantly,
needs
who
Gossip
is at
Girl.
fault? 18-year-old Spencer Sandoval wishes she knew, as rumors swirl that her ex Ethan was the driver that fateful night. She can't bring herself to defend him, and their messy breakup has nothing to do with it. She can't remember anything from that night, not even what put her in that car with Ethan, Chris, and Tabby Hill, the new loner in school. Was it just a night out that went very wrong? And is it just a coincidence? They were all part of Argyle's esteemed honor roll, the Headmaster's List. In a place ruled by pedigree and privilege, the answer can only come at a deadly price. Set against the glitz and glamour of an elite LA private school, Melissa De La Cruz's first YA thriller is an addictive mystery, perfect for fans of Gossip Girl and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
How is this her first YA thriller if Going Dark came out first?
Yeah.
But it says Only Murders in the Building and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then it's also labeled as One of Us is Lying meets Gossip Girl. In this on the edge of your seat YA thriller about a fatal car crash and the dangerous lengths one teen will go to uncover the truth about what really happened. Well, that's being added.
And that's the headmaster's list.
Yes.
Granted, it only has 184 ratings at this point, but it is a 3.45.
And Drew just stated Melissa has another one coming out in April.
Did
Ow.
you see what Bethany said? She's like, it's happening again. Books are being bought.
I don't have the money to buy. I'm just adding to the wish list.
Okay, what else did they say? Why they got to put in those rhymes?
Dana, have you read The Counselors?
Okay.
No, but I want to.
Yes, no, but I want to. And you want to know what's crazy? That's the one. It has like a bathing suit and a whistle, right?
Yes.
It is. It is. When I tell you the amount of times that I've almost picked this book up is absolutely crazy. Is it worth it, Nikki? Tell me, is it worth it?
I know Drew loved it.
Yeah.
Because he got it as a reading, one of his, like, he had to review it. She said she read it this year and loved it. Melissa is releasing a book called Snow and Poison coming out in April.
Ooh, that sounds like a Mel.
That does sound like a Mel book.
Yeah.
Hold on. Snow and
Amanda said Melissa De La Cruz is cranking them out like nobody's business.
Oh, it's got Snow White on the cover.
Ooh.
Love it. Love
is
is stronger than poison in this lush retelling of Snow White. Raven black hair, red lips, and skin white as snow. Lady Sophie has led a sheltered life, but that tale ends here.
Oh, it's book 2 in a series. Book 1 is Cinder and Glass, which is Cinderella.
Oh.
And then Snow and Poison. They're standalones, but they're
interconnected.
They're having a giveaway on Goodreads for it. I just entered.
I just know the last thing I read by Melissa De La Cruz was Blue Bloods. And that was like way back in the day.
I don't think
when they were coming out.
I just found another book that seems interesting.
Oh, what is it called?
It's called They're Watching You by Chelsea. It says, when a secret society has you in their sights, it can lead to power, privilege, or death. It's been 2 weeks since Polly St. James went missing. The police, the headmistress of Tory Wells Academy, and even her parents have ruled her a runaway, but not Marin, her best friend and roommate. She knows Polly has a secret that she was about to share with Marin before she disappeared, something to do with the elite, ultra-rich crowd at Tory Wells. Then Marin finds an envelope hidden among Polly's things, an invitation to the Game Master Society. Do not tell anyone, it says. Marin is certain her classmates in the society know the truth about what happened to Polly, though it's no easy feat to join. Once Marin's made it through the treacherous initiation, she discovers a world she never knew existed within her school, where society members compete in high-stakes games for unheard of rewards, Ivy League connections, privileges, favors. But Marin's been drawn into a different game. For every win, she'll receive a clue about Polly. And as Marin keeps winning, she begins to see just how powerful the society's game is, bigger and deadlier than she ever imagined. They see, they know, they control, and they kill. I'm getting this.
Yeah, what's
the list.
What is it called?
They're Watching You. That is going on my wish list. Oh, also indexing is on Kindle Unlimited.
Yes, it is. And
I just saw They're Watching You in Target because I was like, I said, have I seen this?
She's also the author of Dead Girls Can't Tell Secrets. And can we just talk about that cover? I feel like this is just a vibe. Like these covers just want us to like buy them.
Honestly, yeah. And it's like, I'm such a sucker. Like, I'm just like, wow, that's pretty. I need.
I mean, that one's currently $5.99. So
let's see what that one says.
Piper's fall was no accident. Did someone want her dead? It's up to her sister to discover the truth in this shocking new thriller with an unreal reliable narrator from the acclaimed author of Little Creepy Things. Piper Sullivan was in a strange hiking accident last month and has been in a coma ever since. Her older sister Savannah can't pretend to be optimistic about it. Things look bad. Piper will likely never wake up, and Savannah will never get any answers about what exactly happened. But then Savannah finds a note in Piper's locker inviting Piper to a meeting of their school's wilderness club at the very place and on the very day that she fell, which means there was a chance that Piper wasn't alone. Someone might.
It's got low ratings on Goodreads.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, 6.47. But it's only $5.99, and that's how you get me. God.
Hello?
Bethany, what did you buy? She said, damn it, I bought it.
I got another one for you.
Okay.
It's called Live Your Best Lie.
Best lie?
Oh my god, I literally just almost clicked on that picture when you started doing the title.
Stop it. The cover
with the mirror.
It says,
do you guys wait, hold on, before you read it, do you guys see up at the top Melissa De La Cruz studio? Is she doing like you know how James Patterson presents?
Maybe. This says, sometimes the prettiest Instagram feeds hide the darkest and bloodiest secrets. Social media influencer Summer Cartwright leads a charmed life. Millions of followers, the trendiest designer and vintage clothing in her closet, a newly minted book deal, the coolest friends, and until recently, the hottest boyfriend at her uber elite prep school. Every moment of her life has been carefully planned and cultivated to complement her perfectly imperfect online persona. She is truly #living her best life. But when Summer goes missing during her annual Halloween party and an unscheduled post appears on her feed claiming she'll be dead in the next 5 minutes, those closest to Summer, her bestie, her ex-boyfriend, her frenemy, and her wannabe, no, it isn't a media stunt for attention. It's not Summer's brand. Something is wrong. When their investigation leads to Summer's lifeless body, they're forced to accept that she was murdered, and no filter is strong enough to mask the lies they tell themselves. Told in multiple POVs, interspersed with social media posts and flashbacks, Live Your Best Lie has twists and turns that will keep readers turning the page, and no one will be able to guess the ending.
Listen, I found another one.
Wait, what's that? Say that one more time. I need it.
Live Your Best Lie.
Best Lie. I gotta have that.
Small Spaces by Sarah Epstein. Let me get to it. It's towards the bottom here. A page-turning and award-winning YA psychological thriller. We don't pick and choose what to be afraid of. It's like our fears pick us. 17-year-old Tash Carmody has been traumatized since childhood when she witnessed her gruesome imaginary friend Sparrow lure young Mallory Fisher away from a carnival. At the time, nobody believed Tash, and she has since came to an acceptance that Sparrow wasn't real. Now 15 and mute, Mallory's never spoken about the week she went missing. As disturbing memories resurface, Tash starts to see Sparrow again, and she realizes Mallory is the key to unlocking the truth about the dark secret connecting them. Does Sparrow exist after all, or is Tash more dangerous to others than she thinks? That I'm like, yes, please.
What's that called? I can't keep adding these.
Small Spaces by Sarah Epstein.
There's too many books. Ooh, the cover though.
Hello, that's what drew me in. I was like, what is this
Stop
about?
it. Wow.
She also has other books called Deep Water and Nightlights. Listen.
The covers, like, who is your cover artist, sis? Because
okay, I really want to read Natasha Preston's latest book, but I feel like I still need to read her other
Which
ones.
one? The Island?
The Island
Oh my
I
God,
have
sounds,
I'm just
that.
looking
That
at
was
that.
one I
Oh.
pre-ordered.
it sounds so fucking good.
Have you read her other stuff?
I have read 3 out of her others,
Hmm.
and I really love her writing, but I feel like I need to read the other ones I own before I can buy new ones. I want to do her as I've read all of her books in this
Okay.
fashion.
I had some of her books and then I unhauled them. I didn't read them. I just was like, I don't know if I'm interested in this anymore. And now you're making me think maybe I made a mistake.
Oh,
Now I've got regrets. Okay? Got regrets.
what is it? Whichever one that has. I'm gonna click on her damn name because I'm not in front of my bookcase, and I don't feel like standing up.
Ooh, hold on. You want to
Um,
see a pretty cover? Hold on. I just
The-
got this book the
The
other day.
lake. The lake is really good.
Is it? I
So
think I had it.
these
Maybe
books
I
came
did
on
have it.
Friday, I think.
Ooh.
Oh my god, Delicious Monsters, we got that, and I am so fucking excited to read that next
Look at
month.
this
You have
cover.
no fucking idea how fucking excited I am for that book.
Wow, that's stunning.
That is such a pretty cover. Like
That
it's so
is
creepy
by the
looking. I love
author
it.
of Blood Like Magic,
You
which is
love
my
that.
favorite duology of all
Yep.
time, and that just sounds more of a me book. It's a thriller, it's fantasy, it's creepy. Oh my god, I cannot fucking wait.
Monsters.
Yeah, I got that one. I got this one. I got this one. And I got this one.
The Island.
Ooh.
I almost bought the Island the other day,
There's just
but I
too
bought
many books.
Killjoy instead.
Killjoy. Ugh.
Look up Missing Clarissa.
Missing Clarissa.
Is it Clarissa Explains It All?
No.
By Ripley Jones, I'm assuming.
Oh, look, I have that. Already have that as marked want to read, but then the rating went to like a 3.66, which isn't like the worst, but then it started making me nervous. Yeah. It says but this is what got me, okay, for it. It says 2 best friends start a true crime podcast, only to realize they have helped a killer in the process. In August of 1999, dazzling popular cheerleader Clarissa Campbell disappears from a party in the woods outside the rural town of Oroville, Washington, and is never seen again. The police question her friends, teachers, and the girls who knew her, who all have something to hide. And thanks to Clarissa's beauty, the mystery captures the attention of the nation. But with no leads and no body, the case soon grows cold. Despite the efforts of internet sleuths and true crime aficionados, Clarissa is never found, dead or alive. Over 20 years later, Oroville High School juniors and best friends Blair and Cameron start a true crime podcast, determined to unravel the story of what or who happened to this rural urban legend. In the process, they uncover a nest of dirty small town secrets, the sordid truth of Clarissa's relationship with her charismatic boyfriend, and a high school art teacher turned small town figurehead who had a very good reason for wanting Clarissa dead. Such a good reason, in fact, that they might have to make him the highlight of their next episode. But does an ugly history with a missing girl make him guilty of murder, or are 2 teenage girls about to destroy the life of an innocent man and help the true killer walk free?
It does sound good.
It does sound good.
So that just got added.
I know, but like what makes
my
me nervous with it though is that like it has a lot going on, and for it to be a 3.66, I just feel like maybe the author didn't bring it to where it needed to be to have all those elements.
Okay, I just found another one.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what really happened.
Oh my god, I just looked at that literally on my screen.
There are stories about the woods around Salvation Creek, about the people who have gone missing. Now their friend is one of them. A riveting, fast-paced YA mystery told entirely through first-person police interviews of 4 teens over the course of a few hours. It was all her idea, They would get away from their parents and spend the weekend camping down by Salvation Creek. The five of them would make s'mores, steal kisses, share secrets. But sometime around midnight, she vanished. Now the four friends who come back are under suspicion, and they each have a very different story to tell about what happened in the woods. The clock is ticking. What are they hiding? Who is lying? Dark truths must come to light if their friends is to be found. Told entirely through first person police interviews, this riveting mystery asks what really happened that night. Perfect for fans of Holly Jackson and Jennifer Lynn Barnes, mysteries and police procedurals, and people looking for young adult books bestsellers.
That sounds really good.
And it comes out April 4th. Well, that just got pre-ordered.
Wow.
Because I'm stuck, whether it's good or not, I'm stuck on this first person police.
Yeah, I was about to say that
interviews
one.
is what
That
I'm hooked
really,
about.
that's definitely like pulling you in. At least for me, I feel like now I've got to read it.
Like I want to experience a book that does that.
Yes.
So
Whether it
I
becomes
did.
my new favorite thing or not.
I found another.
Oh God.
This one is called Death of a Bookseller
Ooh.
by Alice Slater. And it's a debut thriller. It says a bookshop, a true crime case, a deadly friendship. The unmissable debut thriller. Roach, bookseller, loner, and true crime obsessive, is not interested in making friends. She has all the company she needs in her serial killer books, murder podcasts, and her pet snail, Bleep. That is until Laura joins the bookshop. Smelling of roses with her cute literary tote bags and beautiful poetry, she's everyone's new favorite bookseller. But beneath the shiny veneer, Roach senses a darkness within Laura, the same darkness Roach possesses. As Roach's curiosity blooms into morbid obsession, it becomes clear that she is prepared to infiltrate Laura's life at any cost.
That sounds like it could be any of us if we just started working at a bookstore.
Okay, let's see what else.
All right. Okay. This one's called No One Needs to Know. And the cover drew me in just because it's pink and I liked it. Okay. It says, when an anonymous neighborhood forum gets hacked, the darkest secrets of New York's wealthiest residents come to light, including some worth killing for. In this gripping suspense novel from the author of Just One Look, it was all confidential, right up to the moment when it wasn't. Urban myth. It was lauded as an alternative to the performative show your best self platforms, an anonymous discussion board grouped by zip code. First off, that would get so dangerous. Like, you know how many things people would be saying anonymously? Anyways, though, the residents of Manhattan's exclusive Upper East Side disclosed it all. Things they would never share with their friends or their spouses. Secret bank accounts, steamy affairs, tidbits of juicy gossip. These are the same parents who would go to astonishing lengths to ensure their children gain admission to the most prestigious boarding schools and universities. So when a hacktivist group breaks into the forum and exposes the real identity behind each poster, the repercussions resound down Park Avenue with a force none could have anticipated, and someone will end up dead. Will it be Heather, the outsider, who would do anything to get her daughter into the elite's good graces and into even better schools? Nora, the high-powered suit, failing to balance work and the emotional responsibilities of motherhood? Or Poppy, perfect on the outside but hiding more than her share of secrets? Each of them has something to hide. Each of them will do anything to keep their secrets hidden, and each of them just might kill to protect their own. I like that because I feel a lot of people are going to die.
And it just said Big Little Lies means Gossip Girl.
Oh, wow.
Okay, no more. We need to stop, guys, before we go down a rabbit hole.
Oh, but I have one more.
Yeah, I want to
this
hear.
is the last.
I'll
Okay,
put
this
my
is the
phone
last.
down so then I won't look up another.
Okay. This one is called This Book Kills. And it says, there's a murderer on the loose in an elite boarding school, but who is going to be next? This Book Kills is the deadliest YA thriller of 2023, perfect for fans of Holly Jackson and Karen McManus.
Yeah.
I'll make it clear from the start. I did not kill Hugh Henry von Boren. I didn't even help. Well, not intentionally. When Hugh Henry von Boren was one of the most popular and richest kids in Jess Shadari's school is found dead, the student body is left reeling and wondering who the murderer could be. Jess, a student under strict instructions to keep her record clean or risk losing her scholarship, finds herself at the center of the investigation when it's revealed that Hugh died in the exact same way as a character in a short story she wrote. And then Jess receives an anonymous text thanking her for the inspiration. With time running out, Jess knows if she doesn't solve this mystery, she'll finally have something in common with Hugh Henry. She'll be dead too.
That sounds good. There's too many that sound good.
No more.
Oh, Lord.
Or we'll be
Karina's
reaching.
there. Hey,
Or
Karina.
we'll be trading, or we'll be changing all of the buddy reads we have set up to some of these. I feel like some of those would be like,
Rework the
cool.
schedule.
Be like, we need to take this one off and add this
Yeah.
one, take this one off and add this one because it sounds good. This sounds good. This
Yeah.
sounds good. I already
Yeah.
see your head
Cool.
turning, Mel.
I'm adding it, just adding that to my wish list.
Yeah.
Book kills.
Make sure you get the one with an English translation. There's a French version
Of what?
where this
Oh.
book kills, where the entire description of the book, I had to listen to you because it's completely in French.
I see that.
And that scares me. Granted, if you go through the photos, it's in English, but that still scares me.
That's weird. That is weird.
Harbin.
I mean, the cover of the book's not in French.
Thank you, Karina.
It says the English, the
The
language
poll
is
has already started,
add to list.
but we need to start.
Bethany said it's going to turn into a weekly book club if this goes on.
Hello. We'll do a live show for like $5
That's
each
it.
month.
Here's all the books about people dying. Yay!
We like murder in this
We
family.
We do.
We should probably start wrapping up so that
Yeah.
I can go make Sterling dinner.
Yeah. I have to
He's
do
already-
some filming too
He's
for
already
this book club.
He's already
So.
messaged me going, food, please.
I have to get the hubby and we're going to watch some trash TV together.
What are you going to watch?
Oh my gosh. So yesterday or day before yesterday, we he came in here and we were about to eat or something. And I was like, you want to watch something stupid? And he was like, sure. And I was just going to pick something that I was like, you know what? I'm okay with watching just the first episode, not continuing.
Mm-hmm.
So I put on Perfect Match on Netflix.
Mm.
And then we ended up watching the entire thing. And we both loved it. I even cried on the last episode.
I love that. I love it.
And so today he was like, what are you doing tonight? And I told him, I was like, well, I have to edit a video and then I have the live show. He's like, well, what about after? And I was like, no, I don't have anything planned after. He's like, you want to find another stupid show to watch?
Oh,
You want a stupid show?
That's so cute.
Do you want a stupid show to watch that is really good?
Hmm.
That everybody hates on it. I went into this show with very, very low expectations because it's a remake of another show. Is Velma.
With Mindy Kaling?
Yes.
I haven't watched it, but I'm obsessed with her.
It is so not Scooby-Doo because there's no actual Scooby-Doo in the actual
Mhm.
thing. You have to think of it as its own entity. And it is literally attacking our generations of being stuck on television and in the phones. And it's like, it's so in your face that you know it's there for comedic reasons now.
Mhm.
And we were so gripped that we went over to a friend's house and we were like, we need to watch something that's going to cringe and we're going to hate this. And so we watched the entirety of the 10 episodes of season 1. And now me, Sterling, Chelsea, and O'Shaughnessy are like, we need season 2 like yesterday.
Now you're upset.
We were expecting to hate this show.
Yeah.
It's on
we were not
HBO,
expecting to
HBO
like
Max.
the Perfect Match, and we we were hooked. We're like, it's so trash, but it was so much fun to watch. And then
If you want good trash, Drag Race.
we ended Joey and Carousel. Like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
If you want good trash TV, Drag Race. RuPaul's Drag Race.
I love Drag Race.
We introduced Mel to like a couple of episodes of Drag
Yeah.
Race while she was here.
I haven't watched anything. I haven't watched anything recent, but it's like I haven't been able to watch much of anything. And
Which
so
is-
now that I have a little more like free time, I'm trying to like go back and watch things. But I started watching like Survivor season 2 and 3. They're on like season 40 something.
Current season of Drag Race, you don't have to watch. Like, I
No?
don't mind the queens that are on it. The editing is so bad because it went from a 90-minute episode to a 45-minute episode so that they could promote that bullshit of the WeHo.
Mm.
By the way,
Yeah.
this will eventually be in an unhaul.
I have to keep it. I
By
need
the way, this will probably be on my tops of the year.
best book of the years. Yeah.
I wish I hadn't pre-ordered and spent that
Oh man,
money.
See, and I think it was so funny because like we had like a perspective from each way of somebody being like, "Man, me liking it," and then Clint loving it. You know,
Hopefully, we all love the next one.
I'm very hopeful for that one because one of the things that I'm most hopeful about it is that none of us have ever read anything from that author, so we have nothing to like
base it on.
base it on. It's really just all like, and also that's going to be through like a whole, you know, town. Whereas again, this just being in one area, like, you know, and which I don't mind that. I just think again, like she could have made the circumstances a little more uncomfortable. So, yeah. But thank you guys to everybody that, you know, participated with us.
Amanda says if you don't want it, she'll take it.
You know, after once it goes into the unhaul and I film an unhaul video and all that, this very well may end up as one of the options for like a blind date with a book for my coffee patrons. Because the ones that are in like, you know, these brand new perfect condition, those are the kind of ones that I'd put in a blind date with a book.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, if you're not already part of my coffee patrons, we have an amazing time.
You do.
And you get lots of perks and it's great. And that I can't put it in the description because this is not my life, but if you go to any of my
I already have Mel and Dana linked down below.
Yeah.
Go check out their channels. They're both fabulous.
Yes. If you click on any of my videos, there's a link in the description for my
Especially
coffee
go
patrons.
follow Dana's because she has one of the most unique Will of TBR games in the history of Will of TBR, which is inspiring some of my new potion jars. I have ideas.
Ooh, thank you. Well, I was inspired by Mel, so you know.
I
appreciate it. I appreciate that you guys have been so supportive and have been really enjoying the TBR videos because I have so much fun doing those.
I like the weekend wheel wager too.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. It's stressful, but I like it because this is the problem. Every time I try and do one, I'm always like, wow, there's a live show. And then I'm like on the computer and not reading, but I have no regrets about it at all because it's just so much fun.
There's a live show every weekend somewhere.
Yeah. No, honestly, yeah.
And I've already stated I am doing nothing next weekend with anybody. I am doing a vlog next weekend.
Okay.
For Book of Night. Because people asked for an authentic reaction to reading Book of Night and my thoughts.
Wow. I can't wait for that. I haven't read it, but I can't wait.
It may be spoilery, it may not, I don't know. Okay. Depends on how much I love and how much I hate.
If we're excited or raging. I love it.
But thank you guys for joining us.
Good luck, Drew.
Yes,
And thank you,
Yes.
Bethany. Bethany said my channel's golden so far. Stop.
It is.
it is.
Thank you guys. I really
It is
I-
top tier.
thank
I
you.
actually just looked just a
Mhm.
second ago. I'm going to refresh the page. Dang it. Hold on. It's like as I went to click on it. Yeah. So 271 subscribers.
Stop it. Yay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yep,
God.
271.
I'm just excited, just excited, but 250 was my goal for the entire year of 2023. So I'm just over the moon. Thank you. Thank you. And honestly, like both of you have been so helpful in this and just very encouraging because as you can see with today, I had no clue what I was doing.
It happens.
Yeah, but it's just like
Technology
it's
problems
nice
happen.
to know that like because I've asked Mel like 1,000 freaking questions, and she's always so patient with me to like explain the things to me. And even just like me and Amanda were talking the other day that like in the Discord, Mel could easily just say like we can't promote our own channels, just like that's not what it's about. But
Mhm.
she's always been so kind with just like letting us be like, hey guys, I've got a new video, and that just that means a lot. Like it's so helpful.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it would be different if y'all were like flooding it
Yeah,
with just like over and over again.
Mhm.
Or saying, go join my coffee instead.
Yeah.
It'd be different.
But I mean, I'm like, I'm like Mama Hen for
Yeah.
She
Oh.
is. She's helped me so much.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm pretty sure I've asked the same questions you have.
I just like the community has
Listen.
been so great, and just the friendships have been awesome. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we even have a book club that you guys were like, yeah, I'll do that with you. And I was like,
And now we
that
got
was
a
so
chat.
exciting.
We're gonna go and visit you.
Yes. Oh, I
Yes.
can't wait for that. I'm so excited. Yeah,
Me too. It's gonna be fun.
me too.
2023 and 2024 are our years, ladies.
Yes. And fingers crossed that I will be on a cruise ship with Mel next year.
That'd be awesome.
That would be so much fun. Okay.
But okay, thank you guys for joining us. If you're
Thanks,
not
y'all.
following the two lovely ladies, you totally should, even though I'm pretty sure everybody who's here has followed the two lovely ladies. Because hello, you're on my channel, and if you're not subscribed to Mel, why are you even on my channel? And then you know how much I love Dana, and why won't you subscribe to Dana? Like, if you're subscribed to me, you should be subscribed to both automatically. That's like a rule here.
It's a rule.
It's
You
a
get all
rule.
of us or none of us.
Hello, you get the family, the hashtag Team Chaos,
That's
or
it.
you get none of us.
That's it. I love
All
that.
for one. Very much Three Musketeers, bitch.
That's it. I
But
love
that's
that.
all we've got for you guys. Don't forget to join us in March for Local Woman Missing.
On Dana's
The
channel.
live show should be on Dana's channel.
Yes.
We may do some like test like things.
We
sometime
will.
to get it figured out.
Yeah.
But that
And
is
we might have some cute matching shirts.
You definitely will, because on Tuesday they will
I
be
can't
there
wait.
with other things.
We gonna
With
be
other matching
stylish. We
Yeah.
gonna be stylish.
I love that.
Because
Chad.
Dana's the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
She's our Sandra Bullock because it's like top tier or nothing else.
Wow. I love Sandy.
Because
love
Sandra
her.
Bullock and Meryl Streep are like top tier actresses. So I'm like, I've
Iconic.
got the top two tiers here. Let's go.
Wow.
So am I Meryl Streep then?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, who am I?
And
We
then I
are-
guess
we
that
are
makes
top
me
tier, and I
Ryan
love
Reynolds.
that.
Guess it
I
makes me
love that.
Ryan Reynolds because I make all the men gay.
There you go.
But I'm
There you
sorry.
go.
But that's all I've got for you guys today. Remember, kids, always be fabulously yourself. Oh, bye. And end broadcast.